Texas Sports Network is dedicated on delivering the most entertaining sports broadcasts in East Texas. And if you're interested in having your next sporting event streamed live, visit us online at netsn.live.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Gladewater, Texas, Jack V. Murphy Stadium. High school football on NETSN on a Thursday. Our game of the week is the West Rusk Raiders and the Gladewater Bears. Hello, everyone. I'm Brett Swinney. Alongside me tonight, my partner in crime with me, Jeremy Diamond. And Jeremy, we're back here. I feel like we were just sitting here less than a week ago, and we were. But Gladewater looks to try to improve to 3-0 tonight, and West Rusk coming into town 1-1. Their only loss, a good Malakoff team they've only been in the state championship game 2 years in a row.
Yeah, it's not too shabby.
So the good start for them. So a good matchup here on Thursday night. And what are you looking forward to tonight, Jeremy?
Yeah, well, first of all, it's homecoming, right? So that just kind of adds another layer to the game, right? When you have your homecoming game, if you're the visiting team, there's nothing more fun than coming in and spoiling somebody's homecoming because you think, oh, you're going to beat us. That's why you put homecoming.
Is it a distraction too? You've got all these extra activities going on. Is your team focused? And Coach Lewis, I'm sure, has already talked to them about this. Focusing. And he doesn't know how to lose, Jeremy. Yeah. So we'll see if Coach Lewis can continue his win streak going as his first year head coach.
It's not too bad if you're a first year coach to go 2-0. That's a good way to start. It's hard to do any better than that, right? Unless you go 3-0, and so they're going to look to do that tonight. And again, you talked about it. This West Rusk team coming in, they lost week 1 to Malakoff, and then they won week 2 against Diboll 22-12, and so they kind of righted the ship. And again, Malakoff's a great team, and so then it'll be another good test for the night against these Bears.
All right, do you have some keys to tonight?
I do.
All right, well let's go over here and check out Diamond's winning keys. Jeremy, give us your winning keys here.
Yeah, so West Rusk runs a 3-man front, right, as their base defense, and so they've got to clog the running lanes. It's one less guy down, and so sometimes that makes a little bit easier to run, sometimes not. But I think for them, they've got to clog the running lanes. They really need to get to the 30-point threshold. Gladewater scored 21, and then they scored 43 last week. And so if you can get to 30 points, you get yourself in a good spot to win a game. And then lastly, they've got to win the turnover battle. Gladewater did a really good job both games this year of getting turnovers. They've had a couple of INTs in each one, and so West Rusk has got to be on the plus end of that turnover battle.
All right. What about Gladewater?
Yeah, so I think the big thing, again, we talked about it last week, but they're returning 11 starters on defense, and so they've got to lean on that experience. They've got a sound defense. They play really solid, make big plays when needed. And then, again, they got to win on special teams. We saw that last week. Marion Minner pushed a player from New Diana into the punter. The punter punted it off the back of his head, and then Minner recovered it for a touchdown. That was a big turning point in the game. And then lastly, I think they just need to pass a little bit to keep the defense honest. I think they only threw about 2 or 3 passes last game. And so you want to throw enough to keep them from bringing 10, 11 guys in the box. And so that's going to be the key for them.
All right. I like those. We'll see. We'll come back to them a little bit later and see if you've been pretty good this year with your keys. I think it's been pretty on. So not a bad job there, sir. Let's go check out what's going on in the field. We've got the less than 12 minutes till kickoff. So we've got of course, they're wrapping up the homecoming facilities down there on the field, and both teams kind of getting warmed up. And we got starters here, Jeremy. You want to go over those? We were both coaches gave us the starters and some obviously the players we want to watch tonight as we go through this game. We've kind of obviously we've seen Gladewater last week. If you're a Gladewater Bear fan, welcome back. Also, our chat is open. Let's open it early tonight. Last week, we're kind of quiet in the first half here, so chat is wide open. So if you're listening to tonight's broadcast, thanks for tuning in. We've got 4 games on the network tonight, so if you've got 4 TVs, you can put them all up and watch NETSN games. Jaron and Jeremy are over in Jeremy Titsworth. Jeremy's not 2 places at once.
That'd be great.
They're over in Overton for a matchup with Overton. You got Overton versus is it James Bowie, I believe.
Yes.
And then Keith is over in Carlisle, evidently in the hot box over there in Carlisle. As St. Augustine coming down. That's a really good game. We talked about that matchup on our pick'ems. That was a tough one too. And then I think where's Larry? Larry's somewhere tonight. I feel like he's need to look that up and see. He's somewhere down there. I want to say Joaquin for some reason. So as you see, and also if you haven't downloaded the app, please go check out the app. You can update our scores. You can really help us out tonight by updating the scores that we have at the top of the screen there. If you update that score, you're working for NETSN tonight. You're helping us out. It helps us out. We've got guys out at games, but if you're at a game or you're watching a game online, go ahead and update that score.
Yeah, and you're right. Larry's got Joaquin and Tenaha.
Okay, all right.
So, yeah.
So we'll kind of keep an eye on some of those other games, and just a lot of good football tonight on this. And then tomorrow we'll have 5 more games on our slate. We're only going to have 9 this week, Jeremy.
It feels like we're slacking. We had 10 and then.
So we got 5 more tomorrow night. I'll be over in Chapel Hill for Chapel Hill versus White House in the big Lake Tyler East rivalry game. And that'll be a lot of fun. I'll get to jump on the broadcast with Josh and Chris and be over there. And then
with no bias, though, right?
Well, no, I'm gonna have to even out the broadcast maybe a little bit. Sure, give them a little bulldog perspective there. And then where are you going to be tomorrow?
I'm going to be in Lone Oak.
I'm going to feel separated. You're not with me.
It's going to be weird. Yeah, I'll be with Jaron. We've got Lone Oak and Big Sandy tomorrow night in Lone Oak. So a good little drive, about an hour and a half from Tyler, and there where the Buffaloes
Good
run.
news is for you guys at home, y'all don't have to make that drive.
That's
We're
right.
going to have it on NETSN. Let's see. We got where's that put Keith? Keith is over in Palestine tomorrow for another rivalry. You got Athens and Palestine over in Palestine. We saw Palestine in week 1, and we'll be interesting to see kind of where they are according to.
That's going to be a tough uniform matchup because you got the same. I mean, white and kind of that maroon shade, right? And so you almost have to remember who's home and away to figure out which uniform is which when you watch a game like that. Those get tough.
Yeah, and then of course we'll have center as where the center guys are tomorrow. Trying to think of where they are tomorrow. I should probably know all these. Just so many games to keep up with.
It gets confusing.
And then I know, let's see, Keith, you guys, and then Larry somewhere too. We need to probably look at those. We'll find those games here in a minute. But, we got some chat going on. Coach Butler's checking in from ARP. Says they're Mineola tomorrow night. Big game for ARP. ARP, man.
Coach hats off, Coach. Congratulations.
Yeah, the Tigers off to a good start. It'll be a big test for them as Mineola, another team that's looking to prove themselves this year. And so ARP's our fast riser on our polls. Yeah,
when we talked about it, not that we were surprised that ARP won the game. I don't think anybody on their bingo card had the game as lopsided against Garrison as it was. So hats off to Coach for having his guys ready to go, and congrats to them on the quick 2-0 start and the fast climb in the NETSN poll.
Yeah. See, Center's going across the border to Louisiana tomorrow night for North DeSoto. That should be a high-scoring affair. And then Larry's going to be at West Sabine as Hemphill will come to town. So I think it's like the Pine Cone Bowl or the Pine Cone. I saw him advertising it. So 5 games tomorrow on the network. So make sure you tune in if you're going to be at another game. Give one of our games a check out. Also, let's talk a little bit about the app. I mentioned it earlier, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Tell everyone at home why they need to download the app. Besides the fact that it's free to the user.
Yeah.
What all can they expect to get from the app?
Sure. So I think that my favorite thing about the app, right, is the fact that you get notifications when a game goes live. So you get a notification when we go live on NETSN. You can choose your favorite teams to follow. You can see live scores as they update. You can update scores for us. We have a pick'em. And not only do we broadcast games, we've got our Beast from the East show, right? We do podcasts with some of the coaches in the area. So there's a lot to offer there. There's an open forum for you to talk in. We've got tournament brackets when that time comes, when the playoffs start. And so there's a plethora of items on there on that app. And again, it's all free to the subscriber.
All right. So while the players are coming out here, let's talk the starters. We didn't get to that a while ago, Jeremy.
Sure.
I'll let you know you were pulling that sheet out.
Yeah.
Some starters and then guys that maybe you think we should take an eye out for.
Sure. So I'm going to start with Gladewater on offense. Running the show is Achilles Hess, a great name. Achilles had a great game last week running the ball. And then in the backfield with him is going to be a two-headed monster with Carson Cooper and Trey Watts. At the fullback/H-back position is Grafton Morgan. And then at receivers, you've got Caleb Balcorda, Jacoby Crosby, and Aubrey Floyd. And then your line from left to right is Braxton Gordon, Aaron Chavaria, Terrell Willis, Taylon Robinson, and Monty Williams.
All right.
And then on defense, right, you're going to start, you got a 4-man front, so you got defensive end Amarian Mentor we spoke about earlier. At nose tackle, you've got Damrian Johnson. At the other tackle, Marquise Rutherford. At defensive end, you've got Jacoby Crosby. And then at the linebacker positions, you've got Mason Boudreaux, Grafton Morgan, and Carson Cooper. And then at the free safety, you got Landon King. At the rover, Sanchez, Anthony Sanchez. And then at corners, you have Maddox Vasquez and Dustin Sheridan. And Maddox Vasquez had two incredible acrobatic interceptions.
Maybe one of the best interceptions I've ever seen live on broadcasting. I mean, they were incredible.
He was fantastic. And so that's your Gladewater starters. And then swinging over to our friends from West Rusk in the New London area. You got quarterback, you got Judd Dotson. At running back, you got Hunter McCandless and Dalen Williams. At tight end or H-back, you've got Rhett Jackson. And then your 4 wide receivers are Cam Brown, Kamontre Rager, Jalen Gardner, and Gunnar Hart.
Hart played baseball, I believe.
He does. And so does Cam Brown.
I recognize a couple of these.
Yeah, some of these names are familiar from the time we covered some baseball. At the line from left to right is Kyron Reed, Jose Sanchez, Max Curry, Anthony Starling, and Caleb Wilson. And then again on the defensive end, they run a 3-man front. So at defensive end, you've got Isaiah Vasquez and Adrian Vargas. And at the nose, you have Rex Henshaw. And then they run a 3-linebacker set. It's Sincere Cleaver, Hunter McCandless, and Drake Mills. At the nickel is Tucker Heathcote. And then at corner, you have Ryder Stanley and Kamontre McGregor. And then at safety, you have Chris Sanchez and Gunnar Harp. So, again, both teams have guys that might spend some time on both ends of the field. We saw some of that last week, and probably a little bit more so for West Rusk. And so they're going to have some guys that are going to play both ways all night, off and on. And so that just adds to the
we'll see if we've talked about a little bit the difference in the, they're both 3A, but the Division I versus Division II, the depth.
Sure.
See if that, you look down the field and you can kind of see it. West Rusk doesn't have as many guys dressed out down there. I did talk to someone from West Rusk earlier. Said they had some injuries early in the season, and so they're kind of battling through those, trying to get through these, regular season games as injury free as possible, so you're ready for the district matchups. And again, this will be interesting. This will give us an idea where West Rusk sits according to New Diana. New Diana in that district also. They took it on the chin last week to Gladewater after pretty much dominating the first half and then being behind. And then Gladewater just kind of stepped on the gas in the second half. It'll be interesting to see if West Rusk tonight can they get started fast against Gladewater? Can they, or because Gladewater did a really good job of once they got the ball, they just kept moving down the field and scored.
Yeah, we kind of talked about it last week. Like, really, the advantage looked all the way to New Diana in the first half, right? Gladewater in the first quarter, I think, had the ball a minute. But then at halftime, they were up 14-7, and it was kind of and then they just decided to have possession and points in the second half. And once they put their foot on the gas, they didn't slow down.
Yeah, it's going to be a good matchup. I think it's a good matchup for both teams. Gladewater continuing to try to build momentum as they move into district play here soon, and that district is going to be a doozy. We've got Jefferson, you've got Atlanta, you've got Liberty Islo, you've got Tatum, you've got Gladewater. I mean, those 5 right there are probably the ones I'm thinking that's going to be, fighting for that playoff spots. We'll see if there's anybody that sneaks up there and surprises anyone, but. Liberty Islo's off to a tough start, but is it their schedule? Maybe they're just not quite as good as last year, and their schedule's just showing. But it'll be interesting to see. Of course, is it Carthage they're playing this week? Yeah, I think
There's a Kilgore. I can't remember, but yeah, it's not an easy matchup.
Yeah, Kilgore's Gilmer. That's gonna be a good matchup.
That's right.
But yeah, some really good matchups. We're gonna take it down to the field. They're going to have our national anthem. We'll be back for the kickoff here on NETSN. So we're going to have captains go onto the field. Let's see. For Gladewater here, we've got let's see, number 22. That is Trey Watts. 71. It's Monty Williams. And number 5. That is Maddox Vasquez. So our superstar defense player from last week. Who you got over there for the? You got your eyes, Jeremy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to hit my zoom lens.
I do like those West Rusk jerseys, those white and the light blue, Carolina blue.
So of course you got wearing the number 37 is going to be Tucker McCandless. You got number 3. That's Judd Dotson. You got number 32. Is that 32?
Looks like, yeah, I think so.
You got number 6, Drake Mills.
32's on the roster,
I
though.
know. I try to be sneaky with us and sneak a extra.
I know it's not a 30, so it's definitely a player that's not listed on the. Yeah, I don't know.
We'll try to catch that one as they turn around. We'll be able to see that jersey.
And the 37, Jeremy. Did you know what the story is behind that?
Yeah, so I think we talked about it, but that we had the unfortunate tragedy years ago in New London, where the school experienced a devastating tragedy, and so every game a player is designated to wear the number 37 in memory of that tragedy, and. So tonight, that is Tucker McCandless.
So West Rusk did win the toss. They deferred, and so Gladewater will receive the opening kickoff here to get started. I'd like to give a shout-out to our man, Richard Diamond, your dad, out there on the camera tonight. Going to be able to give you all that great action here live. Again, the chat is wide open, so chat with us here. Keep sharing the stream.
And if you're a West Rusk Raider and you're tuning in and you know who 32 is, give us a shout.
Yeah, let us know.
We'd love to know. That was one that wasn't on our roster there, and so.
And we also want to let you guys know that we are doing some more West Rusk and some more Gladewater this season. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you know we have your team live, or if you're just tuning in and want to take a game in tonight. We also welcome you on here as well.
And if you're a fan of either of these schools and you'd love for us to cover them more, we'd love to have the opportunity to do that. We just need some sponsors to be able to make those things happen. And so if that's something you're interested in, we'd love for you to reach out at sales@netsn.live, and we can kind of talk to you about what that looks like. But we are in the business of covering high school sports.
All right, looks like we've got Luis Alvarado kicking off here for West Rusk. Who's that back deep over there, Jamie? You got
that is Trey Watts, and they got a little doinker. It was on the turf,
and it was bobbled. I think that was number 1.
I think that's Aubrey Floyd. Yes, it was Aubrey Floyd on the recovery there.
So little slippery situation there, but nobody harmed there, and so
kind of a different pooch, right? A lot of times when teams pooch, they pooch to like the 30 on either side, right? They pooched outside the hash, but that was kind of a middle one, and they almost caught Gladewater off guard there.
So Gladewater will take over on their first possession here, 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line here. And it'll be interesting to see if we see some more ground and pound, Jeremy. The two-headed monster of Watts and Carson last week was very effective. We're going to start out here with Carson.
Yeah, and then you got Grafton Morgan in that kind of fullback. He's in that like sprinter stance about 1.5 yards behind the quarterback.
He's sneaky too. They're going to give to Carson. Carson tuts it back, and he is taken down immediately there, Jeremy.
Yeah, maybe 1 yard on the carry there.
It's like taken down by number 7 of West Rusk. That's Sincere Cleaver.
Yeah, what a great name.
Sincere Cleaver. I love the way they gave us the spelling.
Yeah, it was nice of Coach to do that. Sometimes we don't always get pronunciations, but he did a good job there. And, yeah, so we had Luis Alvarado on the kickoff, right? We've already gotten through 2 of the 5. And so we're expecting to get the rest. But, yeah, again, if you look at Morgan here, he's in that spot about 1.5 yards behind the quarterback. And
there goes Watts. Again, it's usually Carson again, and he is hit, and he's going to get one more. So 3rd down and 8.
I think they're going to give – they're going to give him 2.
Oh, they gave him 2. So 3rd and 7, excuse me. But, they're going to put him here in a situation where they might have to throw the ball here. We'll see if they put the ball in Achilles' hands here, and make a play. He's done that a few times last week. Wouldn't be surprised if maybe they maybe roll him out and give him a pass run option.
Yeah, on the season, Achilles really only has he's only thrown 7 passes and completed 4 of those 7, so it's a limited part of their offense.
Play action, there he goes.
Oh, a little naked boot.
And a good play call, and it's caught for the first down, the far sideline.
Big hit there by Judd Dotson on the tackle.
Looks like that is number 8 across over there with the reception. That is Grafton Morgan. So you're up back there, going out of the backfield, gets the catch for the first down. So it'll be 1st and 10, Gladewater from their own 46.
And if you're going to do it, you might as well do it on 3rd down and get a first down. And so a 10-yard completion there.
I love the play call, though, because he kind of just gave the quarterback, it was a run-pass option, basically. It was either if he had room, he could have ran it. He was like, hey, I'll just throw it up to my buddy here and get more yards.
And a heck of a hit there by the quarterback turned DB, Judd Dotson. So, again, another one of those double-duty guys.
Looks like is that Watts in there this time? I believe.
Yes, it was.
Watts on the carry.
And I don't think he got anywhere.
They're going to say no gain. So 2nd and 10.
So, again, one of those early keys we talked about, can this 3-man front contain the run? And so far, early results are 3 carries and 3 yards. So far, so good. It's early, but, signs are pointing to an encouraging mark there for them.
Yeah, I like the way the defense looks so far from the Raiders here.
And, again, they're playing single high safety, right, because there's not as much of a threat to throw.
Yeah.
And so now how does Gladewater counter? Do they keep pounding the ball, or are they going to try to change it up and make an adjustment?
Let's see. Handoff right up the middle. No, he pulls it, and Hess. Wow, that was a late pull.
About 4 yards there.
Man, he got to the 50-yard line, so it'll be 3rd and 6. Man, that was a good pull there. He had me fooled, Jeremy.
Yeah, I think that was about as late as you can pull it without fumbling.
Morgan, I thought for sure had the ball, and he pulled it out last minute. And they're going to bring in Carson this time.
That's that one that can fool a camera guy, too, really easy, right? Those ones where it's tricky, and you got that triple option look, because he had a chance there to pitch if the ratio stayed right, and if but that backer took the running back, and so Hess cut it inside and was able to fight for 4. Looks like we're going to have
a timeout here.
Timeout.
So Gladewater, I think, is going to take a timeout. We'll take it with him. 8:46 left here in the first quarter play, 0-0. Gladewater's got a 3rd and 6. We'll come back and find out what they do here on NETSN.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
And we are back here on NETSN. We got a 3rd and 6 for Gladewater. 2nd straight 3rd and either medium or long, depending on how you want to.
Yeah, the football is spotted right between that bear's eyes. And so they're right there at midfield, about as midfield as you can get.
Yep.
They're going to go trips to the left here, kind of a different formation than they normally run.
Okay, going to throw it right outside here. Pass is caught. That's number 1 on the catch,
Aubrey
Floyd. And he got a first down. So passing game working tonight as they'll move across midfield. They'll be at the 39-yard line, 1st and 10.
So a nice 11-yard completion there.
And nothing crazy. They're smart throws. I like what Coach Lewis is doing. He's putting this quarterback in a good spot where he doesn't have to make too many hard throws. Yeah,
and I think giving him a chance to get comfortable, right, get settled into the game. And, again, ideally they don't want to throw. They'd love to just run. But they need to get some production here on 1st down to be able to continue to do what they want to do offensively.
Handoff up the middle. It's a pitch fake. And Hess did a great job of pulling again. He's got him going tonight. And he faked twice. He faked it up the middle, and then he faked the toss.
Yeah, so 6 yards on that play.
So that was Morgan. He faked 2, and then he faked the pitch to Cooper. And
yeah. Yeah, and again, he's been effective in that, and you have to be disciplined on those options, right?
Well,
you got to have one guy that takes the quarterback, one guy that takes the ball, and if you do the wrong one, it opens up running lanes.
Well, and they started safe too, Jeremy, by kind of just straight handing off, and the last couple that he's faked and pulled have been successful. So we'll see if they continue to kind of do that to get the defense a little, maybe hold them to be honest. So 2nd and 4, going to hand off straight up the middle. And there's Carson Cooper again, and he's going to get up to the 30-yard line, or make that the 31. They're going to spot him just short of the 30.
He didn't get a great spot on that one. It looked like he had a little bit more than 2.
I thought 30, but we're not paid to referee, Jeremy,
That's right.
so we're going to go with what they say.
So 3rd and 2 here. It's a big 3rd down right here. You're in plus territory, and again, you're probably going to go for it on 4th down from this distance either way. But
well, and the difference in this one is West Rusk is making them earn it. Like, it's 3rd down every time. This one's 2 now. They got some options. You think they're going to go for it on 4th.
I think they've got the two-headed monster in the backfield. They got 28 up there.
And up the middle, and Cooper plows through for the 1st down. Nice run for Cooper.
So he's going to go all the way to the 23.
We got Bailey Sullivan on. Hello, Bailey. Let's go Raiders. So we got some West Rusk in the chat here. So continue to keep the chat going. We'd love to know where you're watching from, who's watching the game from the farthest away tonight, and who you're watching, or maybe a team, or maybe it's a player, or maybe you're just tuned in because you like watching games on NETSN. Either way, let us know where you're watching and who you're watching tonight. So here we go. 1st and 10. Handoff straight ahead. It's Morgan. Ball come out.
I think they're saying he's down.
Yeah, they are going to say he's down. Ooh, that was a close break there for Gladewater. There's nothing worse than to get a drive going like this, Jeremy, and then give it back to the team.
Looks like he's down about the 20 there, so about 3 yards on 1st down. This feels like a reverse of last week where Gladewater didn't have the ball. Now they're totally in ball control here, right? They've already ticked off half the quarter in this one drive. And again, if you don't let the other team have the ball, you can't get scored on, right? And you can play. It's almost offense turned into defense.
Achilles Hess with a nice run is going to get up to the 16-yard line they'll mark him at. So 3rd down. It's at about 3, looks like. So another 3rd down, Jeremy. Yeah. West Rusk is making Gladewater earn every yard here so far.
And Gladewater's been successful on the other previous, right? They've got 3 3rd downs and 3 1st downs from those. So.
Hey, here we go. We got some chat going in here. We got Cameron Floyd watching from Southern Arkansas in Magnolia. Aubrey Floyd is my brother. All right, Here we go.
Welcome. Glad you tuned in.
Bailey's from Henderson. She's watching from there. Handoff up the middle.
Big carry there.
Man, another good run for a 1st down. They're going to mark it at the 10. Well, he moved back. It's going to be 11. So first and 10 from the 11. That was
Watts.
That was Watts. No, I was going to say that's who I was looking for. Yeah. We got Christina Davis watching from the hospital bed. Let's go Bears. Okay.
Oh, they moved it to the 9, Brett. They gave him an extra 2 yards.
Wow. Okay, so 1st and goal. Praying for you, Davis. I don't know what the deal is with the hospital, but hopefully you get to feeling better. Glad you're able to tune into your Bears tonight. Let's go Talon, number 73 again. I think they were here last week. It's going to be a handoff up the middle again, and hitting the backfield is Carson Cooper, and he's going to be no gain on that one.
Yeah, great play there by the defender. Shot the gap there and made the play. I think that was looked like that was number 10, Axel Sipes. On that play. He came in there like a missile and upended the running back on that deep handoff.
Tristan Wilkins watching from home. Go Bears. So we got Bears and Raider fans on here tonight.
Yeah,
welcome.
So great to have you tune in.
Oh,
another big hit.
Yeah, Morgan got the ball and he paid for it as West Rusk, and they're going to give him no gain again. It could have been a loss, honestly.
Yeah, so that was about half of the West Rusk Raiders there. Great job there by the defensive end, Vasquez, and the nose. I believe that was Henshaw in there on that one.
Yeah, Henshaw.
They tied that thing up.
Henshaw's a big boy up front.
Is.
I've been impressed by that front of West Rusk so far.
And they've almost gone to a 4-man front. They're typically a 3-man front. They've kind of added one of those linebackers and stacked him in, so they're almost in a 4-2.
And it's going to be up Trey Watts, and he is going to be stopped for maybe a gain of 1. I think they're going to give him the 8, so it'll be 4th down and 8. And we'll see what Coach Lewis does here. You've got Grafton Morgan going to come back in.
I think I believe he's their kicker. So maybe they're going to go for it. Maybe they hold. Maybe they just go.
I don't know. The play is going to run out, and Achilles Hess is in the huddle here.
So maybe he's the holder. Maybe he's going to run the court. Yeah, so it's kind of one of the they're going to split wide.
No,
so it looks like they're going to run
for it. So 4th and 8 here early in this game.
It's a big, big play here.
You've got Trey Watts in the backfield, and he's going to be a fake. Play action, rolls to the right, looking for somebody in the end zone. Caught for the touchdown. And look at there, Jeremy. It's going to be number 6 on the catch, Jacoby Crosby, for the touchdown. The big man got him a touchdown.
Yeah, what a play there.
Nice rollout by Hess to his right, and touchdown catch for the Bears. And they strike first here.
Yeah, great play design there. Again, ran that kind of naked half-roll boot there, and
so a little. Oh, they're going to go for 2 on the.
And it's Crosby again
on the swinging gate. Now there's a flag late. We'll see what that's all about.
Was there a formation issue maybe, or somebody didn't get set?
It came late, so I don't know if they're.
That was pretty tricky, too, because they were in the wide swinging gate, and then they came to the tight swinging gate, right?
Kind of confusing there for a minute. We'll see. So it's going to be good on the 2-point conversion, personal foul against West Rusk. So they're going to get that in the kickoff. So with 2:30 left here in the first quarter, Gladewater's up 8-0. We'll be right back here on NETSN.
The Friday night lights are shining, and we are teaching driving. CDL Training Academy is your resource to a better career. Come and get trained and get tested right here in Henderson, Texas. CDL Training Academy. Visit our Henderson, Texas office or online at cdllearn.com.
We are back here on NETSN. We got some more people. We got Tristan Wilkins watching from home. Go Bears. Jace Roberts watching from ETBU. Go Bears. Bailey says, "Let's go." Axel Sipes, number 10. Larry McConnell watching from Abilene. My son plays for the Raiders, number 21.
Okay.
West Rusk alumni watching from Gladewater. That's interesting.
That feels like you might have some mixed allegiance there, maybe.
And then the onside kick, and it's fielded, and no going to be returned there. That was number 9 on the recovery. That's Tristan Castillo. Let's see, we got Asia, and I'm watching my brother, number 2, Destin Sheraton, on the Bears from San Antonio. All right.
Yeah, it was that onside kick attempt wasn't a bad idea. You're on the plus 45, right? And so, but the ball didn't get any kick. It just kind of scooted on the ground, and so, but again, they're going to get the ball on the 29, so it really doesn't hurt you. That's typically about where a return might get you anyway, and so, the risk is probably worth it, the potential reward there.
So we got Judson Dotson leading the West Rusk Raiders onto the field for their first possession from the 29. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. He's going to bounce it outside. That is number 21 on the carry, Dalen Williams, and a nice run on 1st and 10 there for Williams, up to the 33-yard line.
So 4 yards there.
Yeah, nice run. I like the way he was able to get that outside. I'm interested to see what they do with McCandless, because he's listed as like every position in the entire offense, and so they know they're going to want to get him the ball at some point.
Yeah, that's
and
a
Williams
big play
is met and not very nicely, Jeremy, in the backfield.
Yeah, that was Jacoby Crosby there with the initial hit, and then the finish, I think, might have been Grafton Morgan in there. But, yeah, big play there for the Gladewater Bears and a big loss. That would have been a, 9-yard loss, 8-yard loss there?
Yeah.
So loss of 8. Yeah, Hunter McCandless is kind of their Swiss Army guy, right? He kind of lines up all over the place. And
Will fake this time, rolls out to the left, and incomplete. It was intended for number 11, Gunnar Harp. Did Dotson, and 4 and out looks like, or 3 and out here, excuse me, for West Rusk is they're going to go and punt here with 1:26 to go.
And, Brett, you got a right-handed quarterback. I'm not a big fan of the short roll to the
Yeah.
left. I know it works for some guys, but it's really hard to flip your hips on the run and make a good throw, an accurate throw.
Yeah, these guys aren't playing on Sundays, so that's not like you have a Mahomes or a, you know.
I think that's Cam Brown, number 1 back there to punt. If I
Yes.
saw the number right. So,
Yes, he's on our sheet.
Oh, there he is. There
Punter.
he is. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Our deep snapper is Drake Mills.
Yeah, and Cam plays for the Raider baseball team as well.
Great punt. He's got a nice West Rusk roll, still rolling, and it's going to take a dive out of bounds around the 30-yard line. So great punt by Cam Brown. And special teams is already starting off better than New Diana's last week. They just struggled on special teams, and so, I mean, that's a key. You know, they don't get anything going on their first possession, but at least they've switched the field here a little bit with a great punt by Cam Brown.
Yeah, you could be in a lot of trouble, right? You could have given up the onside, they didn't, and then they took a big loss on second down, and then an incomplete on third, and so that punt really flips the field. And we haven't seen many games the punter have that much success. You know, really, honestly, we haven't had a punter kick one that far so far, and so good job by Cam there to flip the field. Now it's Gladewater's second possession.
Well, what West Rusk needs now, Jeremy, is they got the stops to make the third and difficult, but they've got to get that stop on third down this drive.
Yeah.
So 1st and 10, ball at the 30-yard line, and Gladewater with their second possession here. It's going to be handoff. It's going to be faked handoff, and there goes Achilles Hess, and he is rumbling, stumbling across the 50.
What a play.
Across the 45-yard line. Great run by Hess. Man, that pull he's got it going tonight. I want to really pay attention, Jeremy. I thought for sure he was giving the ball up the middle.
And I think they gave him an extra yard, so it'll be 26 on the first down run there by him. So ball's on the right.
I thought for sure that Morgan was getting that ball.
Yeah, so 26 on the carry for the big first down run, and yeah, they're gonna have to make an adjustment defensively.
They got Flanagan now in there in that fullback spot.
Yeah, Flanagan got the ball a couple times late last week and had a couple of good runs.
Play action. Back to pass. He's got a man there. Great coverage by
Jump
West
ball.
Rusk. Oh, almost intercepted on the jump ball.
Cam Brown looked like an outfielder on that play, jumping over the top, trying to make that extended reach catch, and couldn't quite get there.
We got a flag, though, Jeremy. Looks like a hold going against Gladewater.
Oh, that laundry always gets you in trouble.
Yeah. And it's going to back them up. And it's going to be a 1st and 20 now.
And they haven't, I was going to say, they haven't backed up far enough yet.
That's a big penalty right there. We got 28 seconds left here in the first quarter. And that's what West Rusk needed right there. Now, can they make the stop and hold them? Now, this may be the last, but I would guess that this is probably going to be the last play of the quarter, unless something crazy happens here. Gladewater's not in any hurry. They like to control the clock. Of course,
That's right.
Clock is rolling here. We don't have a play clock working here again, so our guess is as good as yours.
That's right.
It is going to be pitched outside. There's a catch, and it's taking a nice tackle.
What a tackle. That's McCandless.
And Carson Cooper had no chance.
No, he got 1 yard on the carry. It looked like he might have been able to break something open, and Hunter McCandless shut that down with just a gain of 1.
So that's going to do it for the first quarter play here in Gladewater. They lead West Rusk 8-0. We'll be back for the second quarter here on NETSN.
This is where legends rise and moments are made.
They're still on his feet. Come on, still on his feet.
From the buzzer beaters to the game winners, we bring you the action. Raw, real, relentless. We cover every angle, every story. From the streets to the stadiums.
We're going all the way.
Your favorite athletes. Your teams.
Ford breaks the tackle. Oh, my God.
Your passion. All in one place. New games. Live shows.
Here he goes. He's got some blockers.
This is the future of sports media.
There he goes. Picked up into the secondary.
This isn't just a network. This is a movement.
Oh, he ran over the fence.
Welcome to NETSN Game On.
And we are back here on NETSN. Brett Swinney, Jeremy Diamond here in Gladewater, Texas, as we are now flipped this field around, and we've got the ball at the 44.
I think it should be at the 46. That's what I had it marked at. So I think Gladewater unintentionally got 2 yards taken from them.
So
it
it's
was
21 now.
Yeah. So it should have been 19.
Interesting. Okay. So we're going to roll out. And Hess, incomplete, intended for number 2.
Yeah, Sheridan was the intended receiver there.
But that was I think it was catchable there, Jeremy. I don't know about you.
It was a little bit low and outside. I think he was coming back to the inside, and the throw went to his outside, so he kind of had to make that last-second dive. But, again, that's that tough thing about the rollout. If you don't get your feet set, you know, that throw could be a little bit off. And he was open, had plenty of time. Nobody was rushing him. He probably should have got his feet under him a little bit better.
And make sure if you're tuned in this evening to go check out our app and download our NETSN app. Subscribe to the channel. Jeremy, how much does it cost for those things?
It's free for all those. So free for the app, free for the YouTube subscribe, and both of those help us, help you know when games are on and when we go live.
Looks like we've got a timeout on the field here. Not sure who it's going to be charged to. It's going to be Gladewater's timeouts. We'll take it with them. 11:55 left here in the first half. Gladewater leads 8-0. We'll be right back here on NETSN.
Brook Hill is more than a school.
I am more than a teacher.
We're more than a classroom.
This is more than a performance.
That is more than a scoreboard.
At Brook Hill, you are more than a student. Brook Hill provides a Christ-centered education that more than prepares students for college. It prepares them for life. Brook Hill is a place to grow, a place to belong, a place to thrive. Are you ready for more?
All right, we're back on NETSN after that timeout, and now we have a third down here and 21. What do you got in the playbook here, Jeremy?
Yeah, I mean, I think that last play was kind of your play you want. So he's
right across the middle. He took a shot.
And he got crushed.
Ooh.
That was a big hit there by number 12, Chris Sanchez. He also plays on the baseball team for the Raiders.
I felt that one up here, Jeremy.
That was right in the kidneys.
So a good stop. We talked about it, West Rusk taking advantage of that penalty, and they were able to. And now they're going to get the ball back here and attempt to get some points on the board themselves. Ooh, a good one over there in Carlisle, Jeremy. You got St. Augustine 8, Carlisle 7.
Yeah, Carlisle's wearing their yellow jerseys and blue pants. They look good.
And we got a punt. Good snap, good hold, good punt. That's Morgan. Ooh, that was close to touching somebody.
I took a nice roll there for Gladewater.
It took a fortunate bounce. It didn't hit West Rusk. You got to get away from that. If you're not gonna catch that, that ball is that ball round, Jeremy?
It is not.
Because it can bounce anywhere.
It is anything but round, and it usually finds the guy that is not ready. Right? That's the notorious thing that tends to happen.
All right. So another challenge. We're gonna start this earlier tonight to make sure we do it. We need this stream tonight to get the most likes of all the streams on NETSN.
We like to
win. So
just like these teams.
All you got to do is just hit that like button. Go to the video, hit that like button. If you hadn't subscribed to, go ahead and hit that.
Yeah, and then share it with your friends. Let's get those view counts up tonight. We'd love to chat with more people, have more people tune in. So if you've got family out of town and you're tuned in, share the link with them, get them on as well.
Hand off up the middle. Couldn't tell who that was. They're blended into the black jersey.
I think that was 21 again. I believe that was.
Was it Williams?
I believe it was Dalen Williams again on the carry.
Yeah, it was Williams.
Looks like they gave him about a yard on the carry.
Okay, second down and 9.
Yeah, the powder blue looks good. It is hard a little bit to read some of the numbers that are
especially
close.
when they're on the far end on us here. So here we go. Dotson in the gun. Gonna hand off, and Gladewater is
nowhere.
They're in the huddle with
Jeremiah Flanagan. Oh, the ball's picked up by the defender, but I believe forward progress was stopped. But that was Jacoby Crosby and Jeremiah Flanagan.
Dalen Williams is going back to the huddle and like, guys, block for me, man.
He's like, how did you not see those guys?
Please block.
That was a loss of 3 on the carry. So he had a gain of 4 earlier, loss of 8, gain of 1, loss of 3. He's probably ready for some consistency.
So we now 3rd down and 12 here. Looks like we got some receivers. Oh, we got a movement up front. I think it might have been Gladewater, maybe a
little too aggressive.
Yeah,
they're pointing, but I don't know if the point's going to win here.
Yeah, I think they made contact, Jeremy. I think that's. Let's see.
Were they induced, though? Were they enticed? Did someone lure them over to make contact? That's going to be the question.
I didn't see it, but, I think it's going to be offsides. Yeah,
you were right.
So a big penalty because that's gonna help them out now. 3rd and 7, Jeremy.
Yeah, that changes things a little bit. It opens up the playbook quite a bit, and now the ball's on the 24. And all you've got to do now is get the ball to the 31. So that's a lot better than 12.
So 3rd and 7. There we go. Back to pass. Looks right.
Oh, that was almost. That's our guy Vasquez.
Man, he's got good coverage.
Oh, this time they said too good a coverage.
Oh, they're going to give
a
flag
coming in
late.
Man. He says what?
Is that why the West Rusk player was on the ground? Maybe he went through.
Yeah.
And if that is the pass interference penalty, then and they're marking it off here. They're not even waiting for the signal. They're saying holding. Okay. So that's that 10, right? Not 15. So
defensive holding. But again, that's now 15 yards you've given them on this drive for free.
Man, only we give things away for free, Jeremy.
That's right.
They're not supposed to.
That's right. Coaches don't like to give yards away for free.
And we got more flags. Hey, speaking of that, Jeremy, anybody got a laundry service or an eye place? Because we get a lot of
some kind of eye care, some kind of laundry service, something to get some take care. Oh, now we're going the other way. 5.
Goodness gracious. Let's just. Whew. Coach, this is what drives coaches bananas, right, Jeremy?
Yes.
Going back and filming and looking at these things.
Yeah, because again, you have to almost call a new play, right? You had to play it at 7, and then now you had 10, and now you're at 50. I mean, it's frustrating.
And off up the middle to Williams, and he's got a little bit of space this time before he's met by some Bears.
It's like 4 there on the game.
Yeah, not too bad. He's able to run through some tackles. He was met pretty quickly, though, as he crossed the line of scrimmage. Looks like Carlisle is now up 13-8 over there in Price, Texas tonight. Keep an eye on that game. So 2nd down and 11 here.
So they have trips left. Oh, we got more movement. Looked like the right guard maybe was trying to pull before the snap.
Jeez.
He was in a hurry to get that pull on that, and I believe that was right guard Anthony Starling, if I look.
And West Rusk is going to take a timeout, so we'll take it with him. 9:42 left here in the first half. Gladewater's up 8-0. We'll be right back here on NETSN. And we're back here on NETSN, 9:42 left.
I feel like we've gone front, back. It's like 2nd down. And
yeah, it is. And there's a catch.
It's Cam Brown.
Nice catch by Brown from Dotson, and that's a nice gain. They're going to get the 1st down.
I think they want the I was gonna say he's got to go backyard. He was giving him a free one there.
Yeah. So we got it ball marked at the 44-yard line of the Raiders here.
Looked like a 16-yard completion there.
Some signs of life in this drive, and it wasn't a flag, Jeremy. That's the most yards we've got minus
That's right.
flag plays.
And a first down. That's the first down for the Raiders.
Here we go. Handoff up the middle.
I believe that's.
Yeah, that's going to be up the middle to McCandless, I believe, that time.
About a yard, I think they gave him maybe.
Yeah, they're going to mark him at the 45. Bailey's our number one chatter night. Bailey's going to have us all tune in. She's excited to be here. Thanks for tuning in,
yeah.
Bailey. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we're
Keep 'em
excited
coming.
too. Yeah, it's and again, this is what we love to do. This is a great night, a great game so far.
So 2nd down and 9. Fake the handoff.
Little
Dotson,
screen.
quick pass out to the outside. I think that was number 27, Rhett Jackson, the tight end on the catch. And he's going to get up to, what do they say, the 20.
48.
Yeah, 40. Well, 49. They give him 9. I think they give him the 49, Jerry.
There you go, 49. Okay.
So 3rd and 5.
It depends on which official you looked at.
I
there.
know. Well, I was just waiting to see where the ball ended up. It's kind of what I've had to do tonight. Dotson hands the ball off. There goes McCandless with a nice run. He's going to pick up a first down. Gets up to the 45-yard line of the Bears. And Wes Rusk now's got a little momentum going, Jeremy.
Yeah, so they switched up the running back a little bit here and have got a little bit going on. And so first down carry.
I mean, I think they've got their Swiss Army knives out there.
Yeah.
Jeremy. We talked about it. He's listed as running back, linebacker, fullback, tight end, and receiver.
I'm surprised they don't have O-line, D-line on there,
He might
too.
be kicking, too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Dotson back to pass. He's going deep. He's got a man open. Oh! Just over the outstretched hands of his receiver.
Man.
Intended for number 11 on
That's
the outside.
Gunnar Harp.
Yeah. Man.
And he had separation there. He got up on the corner's hip pocket there and then got a yard of separation on him and just couldn't get it.
Yeah, just a little bit overthrown, but a great ball there from Dotson to Hart. Just a little outside of the grasp there. Man, that would have been a huge play. So 2nd and 10 now. Going to hand off to Williams this time. Bounces it to the left side of the line. He's still trugging. He's got someone pulling his jersey, but he's not quitting.
Picked up about 3 there.
Yeah, he's at the 42. So 3rd and 7. This is that part of the field. If they're able to get half of this or, maybe a little more than that, I think you might see the offense stay on the field.
Yeah, I think if you can get inside the 40 here, I think you might go for it, right?
Mm-hmm. So here we go. They got the whole field kind of all on this near side here. They're going to hand off to Williams. Williams breaks. Oh, he's going to get a little push.
But he's getting a push.
Oh, there he goes. Williams still going.
He's still. Now we're in a. Yeah. Oh.
So it's going to be a 2 yards short of the first down. He's going to be marked down at the 37, Jeremy. So now it's a no-brainer. You go for it here if you're Wes Rusk, and this is a huge play in this game.
Good 5-yard carry there. Again, it was initially about 1 or 2, and then the team came along. That was literally everybody on defense, and on offense, everybody but Cam Brown running around and the quarterback on the push.
So we'll see what they end up doing. Looks like we got a timeout. As Coach Mata didn't like something
There was
he
a
saw.
flag. There was a flag that came down.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, down here.
Yeah. Cam started to go, and then they reset and kind of settled the play. But
they're going to call. Ooh, that's a big penalty now. You've got 4th and 7. That's huge. What do you do now?
Man. I might think about trying to pin him deep. I might ask Cam to go back and punt.
Yeah.
Right here, and I might try to get him to angle a punt toward the sideline here, and maybe get one inside the 10. And
well, he's coming out to receiver, so I don't think he's punting here.
I guess
so
not. They're going for it.
Looks like they're gonna go for it again here. Now they could go up to the line and try to draw him off.
Yeah, they could run a quick kick with a quarterback, right? I mean, there's a couple of things you could do here, but
Gladewater looks like they're bringing pressure. Rob the middle.
And everybody, he is
sacked.
swamped.
Oh, my goodness. They brought the house, and Judson Dodson said, I need someone to get open quick, and they didn't.
Yeah, that he had no chance there. That was just the flood waters open, and a swarm
The Gladewater's
of bears.
Open. The
Yeah.
Gladewater's open.
That's right. The Gladewater's open, and a group of bears. We still haven't figured out what bears don't typically travel in large groups.
Okay, we got some bears on the chat. What is a group of bears? Do we have someone out there in the chat can answer that for us here? There's 6:03 left here in the first half, and
a sleuth.
A sleuth?
A sleuth.
A sleuth of bears.
A group of 3 or more bears is called a sleuth. Okay.
And Carlisle with another touchdown. They're now looking to go up 21-8 there at home.
Big game there.
So they'll hand off up the middle, and it's
breaks
Watts
one.
just
Breaks
breaking it
another.
through. Watts just bouncing off of tacklers.
He was brought down by number 14 on the play. That is Ryder Stanley. But a huge run there, all the way to the 28-yard line.
Man, what a job by Watts.
Yeah, 22-yard run there for the first down.
That's like one of those that he wasn't going down.
Yeah, that was all determination. There was a guy in the back, right around the line that hit him. He got hit again in about the second level and made it all the way to the third level.
So they're going with that dual tandem. It's going to be kept this time by Hess. Hess bounces outside, and he's going to get close to a first down.
Yeah, Cam Brown with a tackle there. It's going to be on the 22.
Yep, they're going to give him the first. So, actually, that's the 17.
Or 17, excuse me. I was looking at the wrong side. My apologies. 17.
You're good.
So 11 yards.
I got to correct you every once in a while. It's usually my eyes that I can't see.
Well, good run there. Again, he's been fantastic with the pull.
Yeah, he has.
He's been phenomenal.
When they're loading the backfield now, with their two-headed monster in there at the same time.
Watts and Cooper, and then Hess, and so you got 3 guys that can.
Oh, and they didn't get that was lucky it wasn't stripped. That was a great play up front.
That was a Sincere Cleaver on the tackle.
He was sincere about that tackle.
It was serious. Yeah, so loss of 1 there by Hess. Really the first mistake rushing for him all night, and I think that was just one of those. He was probably smart to keep that ball. It could have been a fumble had he tried to hand it off.
Exactly. That's one of those things. Sometimes it's just, let's play it safe and not try to risk it. I mean, they're inside the red zone, trying to go up 2 scores here. There's no use to do anything really, silly at this point. So they got Morgan back in the game at the fullback, but Hess has it again, and another great tackle. And guess who it is, Jeremy?
It's that man, number 7, Sincere Cleaver. He says, "You're not going to get me twice."
Man, he's causing havoc for Gladewater right now.
Yeah, so back-to-back tackles for loss. For Sincere Cleaver. And again, he's kind of shifted up to that outside position. So they're kind of running, a 3-4-man front, just 2 linebackers. And so they've kind of shifted their normal defensive lineup to adjust for this rushing attack from Gladewater.
Well, Cleaver likes it. He likes playing on that DN spot. He's doing it's almost like a Micah Parsons does play. He's kind of moving up over there.
Too soon?
Well, I can handle it. And and Hess is just body slammed in the backfield.
That's Isaiah Vasquez with a huge play there in the defensive backfield.
Man, Wes Rusk is getting penetration right now.
That ball is going all the way back to the 30.
Man.
That's a 12-yard sack.
So now, if you're Gladewater, what do? Do you have anybody that can kick a field goal of 47 yards? Probably not. So,
yeah.
I mean,
4th, and you might as well score, right? I mean,
yeah.
You got to get all the way to the 7-8 yard line, so you got to get 22 here.
Well, he's going to run the clock. It looks like. Looking at Coach Lewis, they're probably going to run this down. They may call timeout and think about it. I don't know. They still have a timeout remaining in their pocket.
Well, and this is that hard part about not having a play clock.
Yeah, it is.
Is that as a coach, you can't time it just right. You kind of have to rely on maybe some instinct and hope that the official started the play clock when you think they should have, and it makes it tough to run the clock down.
So Hess, he bobbled the snap. Ball is loose.
It is still down, and it's recovered.
Either way, it was going to Wes Rusk, but they will get the turnover there.
And that is number 20. That is Caden Landon, who also plays for the Raider. I said Red Raider. That's a habit of mine because I'm at Tyler Lexi. I apologize for the Raiders. He plays on the baseball team as well. That ball's recovered.
He got gifted a present there. It just kind of fell in his lap.
He did.
And we talked about how important it is when you're running that offense like Gladewater does. The handoffs, the pitches, The pulls, all that stuff. Security of the ball is very important.
And what did we say one of the keys was? That West Rusk needed to be in the plus side of the turnover battle, and so that's one on the positive for them.
So we got 3 minutes to go here in the half, and West Rusk is looking to try to get some points, and they get the second half kickoff, Jeremy. This is a huge possession right here.
And a huge stop by the defense. That's number 10, Boudreaux, and number 8, Grafton Morgan on the stop there. So got a loss of, looks like 1.
We got a defensive battle here.
That's right. And again, that was Dalen Williams on the carry there.
So second down and 11. Back to pass. Steps up in the pocket. He's got a little room to scramble. Bounces it outside. Picks up a block, but then he's met by Floyd.
Yeah, great job there by Floyd and Sheridan there on the defensive team up there to keep that gain from being more than it was.
Yeah, because Dotson had a little room on the scramble. I thought he might get a few more yards than that, but they kind of closed the gap on him.
And he gained 4 on that one.
So it's now third down and 6. Back to pass. Dotson looking right. He's got a man. Almost a catch by Harp.
That ball came out of his hand before Harp even made his break. And
man, Harp almost made an incredible catch on the sideline.
Just missed. I'm expecting a punt here, right? They're going to run the clock down as well, I guess it's an incompletion, so it'll stop here, but man, you'd like to get the completion there, if anything, just to keep the clock running. And you're going to give the ball back here to Gladewater with the 2-minute stoppage still in front of him. And I believe 1 timeout left.
So it's 4th and 6. So here we go. So Brown back to punt. Good punt by Brown. Excellent. See what he gets a bounce this time. It gets another good bounce for West Rusk. Rolls inside the 20, and it's going to be at the 15-yard line. What a punt by Brown. And we've got 2:07 left here, and we'll see what Gladewater decides to do. They've got 1 timeout. But
yeah, I think that was his second 40-plus yard punt of the night. So Cam Brown is the special teams MVP so far. Again, flipping the field and making Gladewater earn every inch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just 2:07 left. So again, Gladewater is going to have the 2-minute stoppage as well as their final timeout. So they're going to have 2 ways to stop the clock here besides the first down. So they've got plenty of time here, and they've got to go 85 to put some points on the board.
So 2:07 left here. Handoff up the middle. And it's
Watts.
Carson Cooper. No, Watts. It is. You're right. Man.
So a 20-yard carry
Well,
there
that's
by
one way to
Watts.
start the drive, Jeremy.
You know, Watts has had 2 carries so far of 20 yards or more, and so there's your 2-minute stop. Well, first down set, and then the clock's going to run and then go to the 2-minute stoppage. But
Yep. So, he's using a timeout before the stoppage.
Okay.
So he's going to take his first timeout. We'll take it with him. 2:01 left here in the first half. Gladewater up 8-0. We'll be right back here on NETSN.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
And we are back here on NETSN. We've got 2 minutes to go, and then maybe they didn't call the timeout. Maybe they decided to take the 2-minute one, Jeremy.
Yeah, I think maybe the referee blew that a half second early, thinking it was going to roll to 2, and they stopped the clock over in the box over there. But 2 minutes left here.
There we go.
Handoff again.
Up the middle, and
Watts,
it is
a
Watts.
great jump cut there.
Watts with another great run. Up to the 43-yard line, I think they're going to give him.
Yeah, so 8 on that carry. Again, he's had a good first half, especially the last 2 drives. He's had some running room open up, and he's taken advantage of it.
We've got a little issue with the clock. We'll fix it at halftime, but we'll let you know by the time. We're ticking down here under a minute and a half to go here in the first half. Fake the handoff. It's Hess. He's got room into the secondary. Hess dragging Raiders with him. Still going. Hess is not quitting.
What a run.
What a run by Hess.
Man.
My goodness. That's what you call not quitting, Jeremy.
That's incredible.
Just pile guys on me. I don't care. 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders. He just drug them all the way down to the 25.
If I've got that right, that's 42 yards on that carry.
Woo.
Right.
He earned every bit of it, too. So we got
30,
one.
Sorry, let me take that back. Let me math again.
You want to remath? Okay.
Yeah, I want to remath. Let's go 37 on the carry. My apologies.
Okay.
37 on the carry.
We're under a minute now to go as handoff up the middle, and that's Cooper, and he is going to get a couple yards. So they're going to give him, I think, the 23, and that may be where we get a timeout used. And Gladewater is going to use their timeout this time. So we got 50 seconds to go. No timeouts left for Gladewater. They're at the 23-yard line. We'll come right back and see what they do here on NETSN.
The Friday night lights are shining, and we are teaching driving. CDL Training Academy is your resource to a better career. Come and get trained and get tested right here in Henderson, Texas. CDL Training Academy. Visit our Henderson, Texas office or online at cdllearn.com.
And we are back here on NETSN. Again, thanks for tuning in and joining us tonight. Glad you chose us to bring you the action here in Gladewater. We had a stellar defensive matchup here, Jeremy.
Yeah, it's been a battle both ends. You know, both teams have had a couple penalties that have stalled some drives. You know, West Rusk had about 14 plays on that last drive, but nothing to show for it.
Pass outside. It's caught. That's number 1 outside.
Oh, that ball came out late.
Uh-oh.
And it actually may have helped him out because by fumbling that's going to get the ball out of bounds and stop the clock.
Floyd at the nice break there, but a good catch and move. Man.
Looks like he's down to the, 13-yard line?
Yeah, and they're moving. Clock is rolling here.
Got a 10-yard catch there for Floyd.
So here we go. Handoff. Hess is going to keep it there. That didn't look right.
No, it looked like one of those that no gain on the play. That's going to take him down to 24 seconds. Again, they don't have a timeout left.
So he's going to hand off. No, he pitches it over to the left. Man, that's creative.
Yeah, down to the 5 for Floyd there, so 8 yards.
Time's running low. They're going to spike this. They're going to spike it. Okay, he kneeled it? Did he just kneel it?
What is he?
Okay. The clock ran to zeros here. We're about to have to see what happened.
Yeah, we're going to – I think he took a knee, but he should have spiked. Maybe he spiked.
Did he spike it and
knee?
then knee? Oh, that's ooh.
It looks like the referee's going to come over and talk and figure out. We're going to hopefully get a signal from him.
It looks like they're ending the half here because Gladewater is going to the locker room. Man, that's a huge mistake there, Jeremy.
Yeah, it was yeah.
Man, so that's going to do it for the first half here. And we will have the halftime show of both teams. So if you're looking for the halftime show, stay tuned here on NETSN for that. We'll be back for second half action here. Don't go anywhere. All right, and we're back here on NETSN. Brett Swinney, Jeremy Diamond here. And Jeremy, let's go to the stats here and see what we got for the first half here.
Yeah, so I think if you're looking at the stats, the stats have been overwhelmingly in the favor of the Gladewater Bears, but the turnover kind of kept it from being worse than it is, right? And so, but again, the Bears have 39 pass yards, kind of outside of their norm, right? The only score of the game was a passing touchdown, followed by a passing 2-point conversion. So that probably wasn't on your bingo board, and if you did, you might have won bingo there.
Well, and give credit to the defense of the Raiders. I mean, they've been able to kind of clog the middle. That first possession, they had some trouble, but they've kind of shored up the middle and forced Gladewater to do some things really that we didn't see them have to do last week against New Diana.
Yeah, they've run a little bit more triple option tonight, and Achilles Hess has been a threat. And then late in the half, you had a couple of big runs there by Trey Watts. He had a 22-yard carry and a 20-yard carry, and then, of course, Hess had a 26-yarder and a 37-yarder. So those have been the big plays. And, again, big plays have gotten them 195 yards to just 30 for West Rusk. And, again, those are factored in without the penalty yards. So, really, West Rusk is at a net 0 if you factor in their 30 penalty yards. And so that's tough, right?
But they do get the ball to start the second half here as West Rusk will receive. And so, I mean, even after all that, Jeremy, they're still riding this game with only 30 yards of total offense.
Yeah, if I'm the Raiders, I mean, again, as lopsided as that half seems stat-wise, I'm probably really happy because we're only down 8-0. It could be worse. We get the ball back here. I think the only thing they would have liked more would have been to have scored right before half. But, again, they're in a good spot, and neither team has really taken total reins of this game as far as scoring goes. And so I think the second half is going to be an exciting half.
Yeah, I'm excited, too. Hey, something we've already made note that we're doing better tonight. We've turned the lights on in the press box here, Jeremy. Yeah. I know last week in that second half, we were struggling to be able to see here, so I'm glad we
both of us need glasses, and it doesn't help when it's pitch black inside either, and so we were doubling down on not being able to see, so a welcome change there.
So we got Grafton Morgan here set to kick off for the Bears. And let's see, back deep. We got, I can definitely tell we've got Cam Brown on the left here. Who they've got on the right, I can't.
I bet it's the,
Is that 7? Can't tell. Or is it Harp? We're about to find out. Here he goes on the return. That is Harp. That's number 11. And he's going to weave his way up to the 25, I think is where they'll get him. Forward progress, and so
he's met there by a sleuth or sloth of bears, depending on your pronunciation or which one you go with, but a whole herd of bears, and a great play there, and so the 25 is where it starts.
8-0 Gladewater.
So here we go. We've got a brand new half, and again, if you're Coach Mata right now, you're like, all right, guys, we didn't play well in the first half. Defense showed some great things there at points. Offense, we need you to get going here. Yeah. We've got to move the ball and try to get down here and get some points on the board. So Dotson will lead his team back onto the field for a 1st and 10 from the 25. Handoff up the middle to Williams, and he's going to get a couple. Not much there, Jeremy.
No, just 2 there on the carry. Again, a little misdirection, but again, overall, just 2 yards on the carry. Williams ended up with just 5 yards rushing in that first half.
So 2nd down and 8. He's going to throw it out to his left. He's looking for Cam Brown. What an adjustment by Cam Brown. What a catch. Wow, it's going to be marked down in Bear territory at the 42. Man, Jeremy, what a play.
That was you can't dial it up any better than that.
Man, oh, man.
So 31 yards there to Cam Brown.
That's more offense than they've had the whole game right there in one play.
Yeah, they doubled their offense. And in that really in those 2 plays, I mean, they've gotten 33 yards, so more offense than they had the entire first half.
That's what you want to do to come out and make a statement here. See if they can continue it here. Dotson's going to hand off, straight up the middle. And is that going to be McCandless that time?
I think it looks like it McCandless, yeah.
No, 21 Williams. Okay. That's Williams.
Yeah, and Boudreaux and Morgan and Looked like a big Damry and Johnson there on the stop. So, again, the Gladewater Bears have done a great job up the middle of clogging the run. Really, Williams' only runs that have gotten for a couple of yards have been when he bounces it to the outside.
So 2nd and 9, hand off again to Williams. And he bounces off an initial tackle, busts through a hole, and he was close to breaking that one. Just the Bears were hanging on for dear life there.
Yeah, that was one of those looked like a big loss of 4 and then ends up gaining 4.
That's just wanting it. He wanted those yards. So now he's got a 3rd down, and it looks like 5, Jeremy, is that what it looks like?
Yeah, so got 1 on the last carry, 4 on that one, so 5 total.
Looks like they had Jose Sanchez, the left guard, is going to jog off, and he was going to have to come out, but Coach Mana says, no, I think I'll take a timeout instead. So we'll take it with him. 10:36 here left in the 3rd quarter. West Rusk driving. Gladewater leads 8-0. We'll be right back here on NETSN.
Brook Hill is more than a school.
I am more than a teacher.
We're more than a classroom.
This is more than a performance.
That is more than a scoreboard.
At Brook Hill, you are more than a student. Brook Hill provides a Christ-centered education that more than prepares students for college. It prepares them for life. Brook Hill is a place to grow, a place to belong, a place to thrive. Are you ready for more?
Back here on NETSN, Jeremy Diamond, Brett Swinney here as West Rusk looking to move the ball. They've got a big 3rd down and 5 coming up.
Yeah, and again, you talked about it before the break. They took the timeout to get Jose Sanchez back on the field. He was able to come back.
And they got it to McCandless, and there he goes, almost spins off a tackle. What a run by McCandless there.
That B button almost worked to perfection.
I thought he was going to end up landing on the defender and keep his balance and be able to bounce back up.
So that was looks like they're going to mark him at, the 23?
I still think it's a circle button, by the way.
I know. We'll argue about that forever. 14-yard carry for the 1st down there for him. He hit that hole.
We got a little contact. They're going to, no flag there. Looks like that.
Gunnar Harp again.
Yeah, Harp. He kind of got tangled up maybe in some feet there.
He's had some rough luck tonight. He's been on the ground for every throw that's come his way. He's had to dive for a few, and there he gets tangled up and goes down. And so Gunnar's going to have some turf marks in the morning.
So 2nd down and 10. The ball is at the 24-yard line of the Bears. West Rusk looking to try to get on the board here for the first time tonight.
Looks like Tristan Castillo, number 9, is taking Gunner's place there on the wide right.
Oh, they moved it up. Now it's at the 23. All right.
Which is, I think, where it was.
Yeah, it was supposed to be there, I think. They get off to McCandless, and he is met in the backfield, and he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to give him, I think, back to the original line of scrimmage. But
yeah, and again, the tackle there was number 10, Mason Boudreaux, with a whole sleuth of Bears with him. I think Grafton Morgan was back there as well as Flanagan, and so just a big team effort. Again, their defense has been just.
Oh, they didn't give him the original line of scrimmage. They backed him up back to the 26.
Okay, so they took 3 away.
3 away. Okay, so 3rd and 13 here. Big play for the Raiders. Back to pass. What across the middle. Caught. What a catch across the middle. Dotson with a dart to his man. There's Harp, and he finally gets him a catch, and a big one at that. So 1st and goal for West Rusk, and they're in the hurry up here.
Yeah, and that was an 18-yard completion for a 1st down.
McCandless looking for a hole, and he's going to get maybe a yard. So he's down at the 7 now.
Yeah, so 1 yard there.
So 2nd and 7 here. So West Rusk doing something they haven't done all night, and move the ball consistently against the Gladewater Bear defense.
And here's Dalen Williams back into the backfield. So McCandless and Williams are out here in the backfield. McCandless might shift over to that H-back position here, and he does.
So here we go. Dotson. Play action. He's got somebody in his face. You got to get rid of it, and he does, and it's actually a good drop.
I was going to say that's probably the best thing that could have happened there.
McCandless would have lost a couple if he'd have caught it, so a good job though, by getting out in the pocket. I mean, Dotson had nowhere to go. I mean, there was a great read by the end there, and he was able to put pressure on Dotson and didn't give him a lot of time. So we got 3rd down and 7 now for West Rusk, and a 4 down. I would imagine you're going to probably go for it. I don't think field goals aren't going to win anything right here.
Yeah, and goal to go here. So.
Ooh, ball fumbled ahead.
Oh, and what a hit!
And then
by
we got
Morgan.
a penalty.
Morgan stood him up straight. He just stuck him.
I'm not sure what the penalty was. Did someone move?
I think there was a couple of guys that went low. I wonder if we're going to get a chop block here because some of the linemen went down on a cut block and some of them stayed up. That's going to be my guess.
Okay, well, the referees are discussing. It was at a weird time because the ball was kind of muffed there, and Dotson did his best to just pick it up and try to do something
I've
with
noticed, though, when a lot of times when Dotson gets the handoff, he kind of spins the ball. He kind of flips it, and there it is, chop block.
Yep, good call. That hurts right there. Woo. Especially when it's a goal to go here.
Exactly.
There's no first down option.
They went from the 7, and they're going to go all the way back to what looks like the 22.
Well, they're marked at the 20.
Okay. So it must – okay. So there you go. It must have happened at the 5-yard line then.
So you've got 3rd and 20, and that is a goal to go penalty. So there's no first down options here. Now you've almost got to say, okay, where's my field goal kicker? At this point, you want to get some points out of this.
I think the goal here is to get 10. You want to get inside the 10 again, right? You want to kind of get back where you were at minimum.
They're going to go to Cam on the outside, and it's a catch.
What a catch!
Cam Brown with a touchdown.
What
20-yard touchdown pass from Dotson to Cam Brown, and he just wanted that one, Jeremy.
He did. He said, not today, sir.
Wow.
Yeah, the corner was in a perfect spot there. I mean, you can't – if you're Aubrey Floyd, you can't play that any better.
Jeez.
I believe that was Floyd over there. He's like, I'm not sure how I didn't come down with that, right? And so the Raiders are going to look to go for 2 here.
Yep. Trying to tie this game at 8 apiece here.
Man, that was just a great battle between 2 fantastic athletes. Both guys play receiver and corner, Cam Brown and Aubrey Floyd there. So, really, it was 2 guys going for the same jump ball, and Cam won that one.
So, Dotson got everybody in where they need to go. He's going to roll to his right. Look to the end zone. Oh,
catch!
It went to the wrong guy. I think it was going to Harp originally, and then it ended up in the hands of number 15. That is Jalen Gardner.
Man,
wow, what a ricochet, Jeremy.
Yeah,
talk about fortunate.
Coach is going to pretend like he drew it up like that, but we all know what happens. But, man, what a 2-point conversion there. And, guys, we have a brand-new ball game. It is a tie ball game.
So with 8:38 left here in the 3rd quarter, we got a tie game. It's knotted up at 8 here in Gladewater. We'll be right back here on NETSN.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
We are back here on NETSN, Brett 20, Jeremy Diamond, and we asked for offense from the West Rusk Raiders, Jeremy, and we got some there.
Fast. Ooh, it's tough. Yeah, great drive there. Again, they went to the air to do their damage. 31-yard completion, an 18-yard completion, and then a 20-yard touchdown pass to Cam Brown on the jump ball.
Yeah, Harp and Brown really contributed to that drive there.
They did, and then probably the craziest tip 2-point conversion. I mean, that ball was going to the right pylon and ricocheted.
Let's just throw it to like 5 or 6 players, and only one of them was in white, and then it bounces off and ends up in another player in white's hands.
What are the odds?
Tip play, just like they drew it up, right?
We just got an update from our friend Keith Whitman. He's over in Carlisle, and unfortunately the lights have gone out. Not in Georgia, but in Carlisle, Texas.
That's the song that came up, and that's Carson Cooper on the return. They're going to get him tackled down around the 35-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Gladewater. But We must.
I was over there with Keith when it happened last time, and it was quite a shock. And it was really cool as the fans from both teams.
He's running like that. That was a nice play. That little jump cut. He just jumped right over the defender that had dove on the ground for him, Jeremy.
Yeah, they're going to put him at the 47, so that's going to be a 12-yard carry for him.
And that's a good. It's a good job there for Watts.
Yeah, that jump cut, hand on top of the defender, and what a
keep from Hess. Achilles Hess up across the 40, down close to the 30. He's going to be marked at the 32-yard line.
Brett, dare I say, he's been their Achilles heel for the West Rusk defense tonight.
Man, I mean, you could say that, but he's had a good night.
Yeah, 21 yards on that carry. First down run for him. Ball's going to be, looks like it's on the 32, so that'll give him that 21.
That's back-to-back good runs here for Gladewater.
And just like that, Gladewater's in plus territory, threatening to score and return the favor.
It was a defensive battle in the first half, and now we got a lot of offense going here.
Offensive explosion.
Those offensive coordinators must have made some nice adjustments here. Got a handoff. It's Watts again. He's got another hole on the left.
Good tackle by
McCandless.
That was McCandless, Hunter McCandless.
If he doesn't make that tackle, Watts may have been gone there. So a nice run.
Yeah, 6 yards for him on that one. Ball's on the 26.
So second down, and it looks like 4.
Yeah. They've had some success kind of getting to that right tackle area, that outside bounce.
They're going to hand the ball. Oh, no, Hess keeps it, and he's hit pretty quickly. Going to be taken down around the 24-yard line.
Yeah, I think they gave him 2 on the carry there.
I thought, again, he was going to hand off to Morgan again, and he pulled it.
Yeah, and that was a good play there by the defensive lineman to kind of wrap him up there and limit him to just 2 yards. So they got to get to the 22 here for a first down. You got the 2-headed backfield again. You've got Watts and Cooper.
They're going to give it to Watts straight up the middle, and he is hit. And I don't know. They're going to give him close to the first. Well, it depends on where they spot it. The linesman on the far sidelines got it just short.
Yeah, he's got a 1-yard carry there.
4th and 1 now. What a play this is. I mean,
yeah, this is big. Again, it was interesting. They were going off tackle and having some success, and the last 2 runs have kind of been up the middle. And
yeah,
maybe you go back off tackle again, right? Or maybe something to the left side. But again, this West Rusk defense has really stepped up when they've needed to, and so 4th and 1 here, big play.
So you got big number 28 in the backfield. That is
Mr. Flanagan.
Flanagan, yeah. So you got Flanagan also with Cooper Carson, and it's going to be straight at the middle of Flanagan. Bounces off tacklers, dragging guys with him. What a strong run by Flanagan.
He hit that B button.
Man, he was just dragging guys with him, Jeremy.
Yeah, and I think that was if they got him, I'm trying to see if it's the 7 or the 8. But
somebody's down for West Rusk. We got an injury. Not sure who that is.
That was a 15-yard carry for Flanagan.
So we got an injury. We'll take a timeout with them. So with 5:22 left, Gladewater driving. We'll be right back, and we'll check on the injured player when we return here on NETSN.
The Friday night lights are shining, and we are teaching driving. CDL Training Academy is your resource to a better career. Come and get trained and get tested right here in Henderson, Texas. CDL Training Academy. Visit our Henderson, Texas office or online at cdllearn.com.
And we are back on NETSN. We've got a 1st and goal from the 8 for the Bears here. And we got movement up front. Uh-oh.
Yep, somebody got in a hurry.
That's going to hit that reverse button, Jeremy.
That's right. Well, and what's frustrating with that, too, is you just had a big run. You got 1st and goal from the 8, and then you shoot yourself in the foot and penalize yourself 5 yards, right? Mm-hmm. That's frustrating when you're coaching something like that where you're –
And the player got off quickly for West Rusk. I don't think it was a bad injury. I think they were okay. We couldn't get the numbers. They kind of got off and then got back to play here real quickly.
Yep, not much of a break there. So now we're at the 13-yard line. Again, it's still 1st and goal.
Got Morgan and Cooper in the backfield. It's going to be Cooper on the run off left tackle, and he's going to cut back up the middle, and he's going to get to the 8.
Yeah, and McCandless upended him, so that was a 5-yard carry to make up the loss.
Yep. So 2nd down and 8 now.
And there was some running room in there, and Hunter McCandless quickly shut the door. That could have been, again, if Hunter misses that tackle, it's probably 6. So he's had a couple of big plays there.
So pretty much the same formation here. And Hess is going to hand it off. Oh, the ball's loose, and the ball is recovered by Wes Rusk. There's that turnover again, and Wes Rusk has forced another turnover, Jeremy.
Yeah, and that was just looked like a bad mesh point there. Couldn't tell if Achilles was just trying to pull that or if he just didn't get it in the pocket. But he was going for Grafton Morgan. I think he tried a late pull because he saw the run was clogged and it just didn't come out right. And ball's on the turf and recovered.
Man, so what a swing of momentum there. And I think we didn't talk about your keys at half, Jeremy, but I do believe I remember the turnovers on Wes Rusk's key, and they are +2 on turnovers.
They are. So I'm accidentally a little bit prophetic here, and so we'll take it. But yeah, I think if you're the Raiders, you're almost looking at how we're going to counter the score they're about to do, right? And then all of a sudden you've got the ball and it's a tie game. Now you got to go 90 the other way.
So here we go. Dotson. He's going deep down the right side. Looks like it's hard, but a lot of contact.
That was a ton of contact.
Man, he tackled him.
Yeah, he did. That was, I believe that's Maddox Vasquez. He didn't get the pick. So he tried to pick the pocket there of Gunnar Harp and was unsuccessful.
Okay, so here's my question to you on this. It's the first one we've had all year like this. I'd like to see the spot foul here at this level. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean,
because otherwise you just tackle him when he's going deep.
Yeah, why not? I mean, the ball could have been on the 45-yard line, and instead you give up 15 yards and it goes to the 25. I agree. I don't like that penalty is only 15.
I think that should be consistent every level. I mean, you can't just tackle somebody and only give up 15.
I mean, why wouldn't you, right? You get beat, just take somebody down.
Yeah. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Williams, a little cut back, and he's going to get a few yards, but I think he's going to be stopped around the 27, so we give him a gain of 2.
Yeah, that was a full sleuth of Bears there on the tackle.
He almost jump cut right back into the heart of the defense, really.
Yeah, that was – yeah, he had a little room. Again, that inside lane has been almost impossible to run on, and yet they keep trying to do it. And, again, you want to stick to what you do, right? There's a balance there. You want to keep them honest, but they've had a hard time doing that.
Nice pass, Cam Brown. Oh, might have been his easiest catch of the night. He took off and saw green before he secured it away, Jeremy.
He thought he had it in the bag, and he took off and forgot to bring the bag with him. That's a tough one, too. If you're the quarterback, you put I mean, that was the best ball he's thrown all night. It was on time, on target, right where you want it, right on the hip to the numbers.
I mean, he had a lot of room in front of him, too.
Man, tough drop there.
So 3rd and 8. Dotson back to pass again. Looks to the left this time. Cam Brown, he goes back to him, and this time he catches it. And he points for that first down, Jeremy. He's like, I got that one.
He said, I'm not going to do that twice. So 12 yards on that catch for a first down.
So 39, at the 39 is where they'll take 1st and 10 here. I mean, I like what they've been doing with Brown and Harp outside. They've been doing a good job of getting those guys involved.
Yeah, and again, Aubrey Floyd again on the coverage with Cam Brown.
And up the middle to Williams, and maybe 1?
Yeah, it looks like 1.
They're going to give him the 40. And that's something that New Diana didn't do a ton of last week, is throw the football. We talked about they were both ground and pound, and so a little bit interesting to see is if this is something Gladewater needs to work on, as West Rusk may have found something in this passing game.
Right, and you know that every coach that's watching the film of this is going to see that and go, okay.
Williams bounces it outside. This time uses the speed. Williams, takes a shot at the 50 and still picks up the first down.
Yeah, that was number 20. Yeah, Dalen Williams on the carry, and then the tackle was by Carson Cooper there.
Man. Williams, that was a great move there. saw the traffic inside. Hey, I'll take the expressway out here that has no traffic.
Yeah, and a 14-yard carry, his longest run of the night there for a first down and in plus territory.
Dotson straight ahead. Williams again. He meets a tackler, a 2, still on his feet. Williams fighting for yards up to the 40. Man, he is a man possessed on this drive.
Yeah, so 7 on that one.
And you got an injured Gladewater Bear. Looks like it's number 34.
Looks like maybe he's grabbing the calf, so maybe a cramp.
Yeah, that is Cody Bellinger. So hopefully he'll be. He's going to limp off, and hopefully he'll be okay there. Don't think anything serious. But man, West Rusk this second half, Jeremy. I think did they hear the fact that we said they had 30 yards of offense?
Yeah, I think they said, you know what, listen. We didn't want to show anything too early, but it's time to put our foot on the gas. And again, they've kind of flipped the game a little bit here. And that was a quick. Again, we've had a couple of quick injury timeouts that thankfully haven't been anything more serious than a cramp or something like that. So we're back to action here. Ball's on the 40-yard line.
All right, second down and 3. Dotson drops back to pass. He's looking to his right. He's going. Oh, Harp gets bumped, and that's going to be a flag.
It was a great catch by Vasquez, but the bump impeded the receiver.
You can't body check the receiver to keep him from getting it, and that's going to be another penalty.
Well, and I think Harp was looking at the back judge going, what? And then so thankfully the field judge over here threw the flag.
Well, they both ended up throwing it.
Yeah. The initial was definitely the field judge on the side, and then the back judge threw it late, and maybe he was just waiting to see what was going to happen. But there was a ton of contact there.
Yeah. So another first down by penalties there, and another huge penalty on this drive, Jeremy.
Yeah, and again, 2 big 15-yard penalties have allowed West Rusk to get down the field farther. So now they're on the 25.
So first and 10. Handoff straight ahead. McCandless this time crosses the 20. And he's going to be tackled right there for a gain of 5. It'll hurry up offense for the Raiders. They like what they see here.
Yeah, you got Gladewater on their heels a little bit. Don't let them rotate here. If you don't hurt, I don't know if he got off in time. I don't think
they gave it to him. McCandless bounces it outside. McCandless fighting for yards, and he's going to get the first down at the 15. Great run by McCandless. He could have given up and went down, but he fought for that extra couple of yards there and got the first.
And I think they gave him 6. That's going to put it down at the 14.
Okay. So first and 10 now. We got clock down to 43.
Clock's going to run again. They got the chain set.
West Rusk they're going to keep it moving here. They like what they see. Williams up the middle.
And he squeezes through somehow.
I don't know. He popped out of the pile.
Yeah, he did. We got a spot here at the 10, so that's going to be a 4-yard carry for him.
We'll see if they snap it here. They may let the clock run. They don't have to take another snap for this quarter.
But then again, you've got the defense on their heels, so maybe.
You do. We'll see. And it looks like they might. Now, they could try to draw an offsides here. We'll see. Nope, they're gonna snap it. They're gonna give it to Williams.
I'm not sure that everybody was set for a second, but no flag.
So they're gonna get to the 7. So we got a 3rd and 2 coming up when we return to the fourth quarter. So through 3, we've got a tie game, 8 apiece. We got a good one here in Gladewater. We'll be right back for the fourth quarter here on NETSN.
This is where legends rise and moments are made.
They're still on his feet. Come on, still on his feet.
From the buzzer beaters to the game winners, we bring you the action. Raw, real, relentless. We cover every angle, every story. From the streets to the stadiums.
We're going all the way.
Your favorite athletes. Your teams.
Ford breaks some tackle. Oh my gosh.
Your passion. All in one place. New games, live shows.
Here he goes. He's got some blockers.
This is the future of sports media.
There he goes. Picked up into the secondary.
This isn't just a network. This is a movement.
Ooh, oh, he ran over the defender.
Welcome to NETSN Game On.
And we are back here on NETSN. Brett Swinney, Jeremy Diamond here in Gladewater. We got a great matchup here between two really good teams tonight, Jeremy. West Rusk, they've owned the second half so far, and they are looking to get their first lead of the game here as they're inside the 10 here with a big 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, and they're sitting here on the, looks like the 7-yard line. So they can get a first down with just a couple yards here. And so it looks like 3rd and 3, I believe.
Here we go. Dodson fakes the handoff. Dodson keeps it, follows his blocks. Dodson, is he in?
He is so
just short. But the good news is it's first down and goal. So they're going to get 4 shots at this, Jeremy, to punch this in.
Yeah, 1st and goal from the 1. That was a great run by him. He just kind of ducked down behind his lead blocker, and then the defense spun him, and he almost got thrown into the end zone, was down at the 1.
So we've got a huge 1st and goal. See if they give it to Williams here. He's in the backfield behind Dotson. They do. He bounces that out, and no, he's going to be short.
Looks like he might have lost a yard even.
Yeah, I think they did. They give him a loss of 1.
Which originally he could have lost 4 on that first hit. He was able to kind of cut out to the outside, but not get enough to go in, but it lost a yard.
You know, if they're not watching Dodson, I like Dodson to maybe fake that to Williams and
yeah, run a little zone read kind of look there and keep it.
And Williams goes through that time, and he's into the end zone for the West Rusk touchdown. 2-yard touchdown run for Williams, and West Rusk takes a 14-8 lead.
You know, Brett, he probably didn't want a 1-yard rushing touchdown. He said, let's make it a little harder. Let's go 2, right?
Let's just challenge it a little bit.
Yeah, why go easy? You're going to see the swinging gate again for West Rusk, just like you did for Gladewater.
So at least Emirado here for the point after. See if he can put one in here.
Gunnar Harp is the holder.
Good snap, good hold. Kick is up. And good.
Squeezes one.
So it's 10:51 left in the game here in Gladewater. West Rusk leads 15-8. We'll be right back here on NETSN.
Brook Hill is more than a school.
I am more than a teacher.
We're more than a classroom.
This is more than a performance.
That is more than a scoreboard.
At Brook Hill, you are more than a student. Brook Hill provides a Christ-centered education that more than prepares students for college. It prepares them for life. Brook Hill is a place to grow, a place to belong, a place to thrive. Are you ready for more?
And we are back here on NETSN, and boy, we've got a good one here, Jeremy. West Rusk scores 15 straight here in the second half to take a 15-8 lead.
And not only that, they almost gave up 7 on the other end, or maybe 8, right? And then they were able to force a fumble, and then through a couple of big penalties, were able to go 90 yards for the score. So again, 90-yard drive, but 30 of those aided by some penalties on the outside by the Gladewater corners.
Well, and we've got some good news. Our friends over in Carlisle, Keith and Jason and company, they do have power again. So they're back in progress in the third quarter. So
that little pooch up the middle again.
Ball's fun. Oh, and that's Floyd. And I thought if he slipped through a couple of tacklers, he might be able to.
I was gonna say the Raiders almost overran that ball, thinking it was on the ground, right? And then it almost left a whole lot of daylight behind.
So good field position for Gladewater. Still no panic needed for Coach Lewis and company, as they got plenty of time. The 32. They're at the 32 here, 1st and 10. They've got 10:45 left in the game. So, I mean, I'm Gladewater. I'm just going to maintain consistent. I'm going to go back to what they've been doing, successful. Last drive was a good one. They just fumbled it at the end.
Off-tackle runs. Again, I'm running off-tackle until you stop me, and then I'm going to go back to the middle. But the off-tackle runs, they were gouging West Rusk before that handoff mishap there on the other end. So
So Hess is going to hand it off to Watts. Watts off the
tackle.
left side, or right side,
Oh,
excuse
what
me.
great defense there.
And Wes Rusk read it all the way, and they're going to give him no gain. But
That was Drake Mills and Judson Dotson there on the close.
I think that's a very generous spot. They actually gave him a gain of 1.
Okay. Okay.
That's
Okay.
man.
I'm not sure how, but okay.
It looked like he got hit pretty much immediately there.
Yeah.
So it's going to be at the 33-yard line now, as it marked on the field. So second down and 9.
To me, that was almost even a loss would have been. It looked like a loss. Let's say that.
Yeah. I mean, we're at a different angle, but it looked like it from up here. Little handoff again to Watts off the left side, this time finding some room. There goes Watts down the sideline. Watts cuts it back up the middle. What a run by Watts. Taken down at the 21-yard line of West Rusk. 1st and 10. Close to the red zone for Mr. Watts.
A game-saving tackle there, a score-saving tackle by number 20, Caden Landon.
Man, what a run by Watts when they needed that.
Yeah.
So it's a long run there. Math's hard, Jeremy.
46 yards. 46 yards on the run. He went galloping down the sideline. That cutback got him another.
I think West Rusk might have thought, well, he's just going to run out of bounds. And he just said, no, I'm cutting it back and getting some more yards.
Yeah.
Right up the middle, it's Watts again, bouncing through tacklers, trying to stay on his feet, and he's going to get about 4. So
Brett, if that were you and I that broke off a 46-yard run, we'd be on the sideline getting some oxygen and
give me some
backup.
Give me some oxygen.
Yeah.
And they are going to give him a break this time as Cooper's going to check in.
There you go.
So there's his break. So you got Cooper, and you've also got the backup fullback in as well. That's Flanagan.
Yeah, and Flanagan had that touchdown run.
It's going to be
last
Cooper.
week.
Bounces it outside left. And West Rusk did a good job of closing the gap, but they still are going to give up a few yards. It's going to be marked at the 13. So it's going to be 3rd and 2.
Yeah, so another 4 there.
And Cooper's hobbled off as he's shaken up on the play. So Watts' break is over. He's back in.
That's a short-lived break. You're like, man, all right, back in.
Carlisle now takes a 27-8 lead there over in Carlisle. So Coach Baker and company's looking good early.
Yeah, they're cooking. So that ball's on the 18.
So Hess, handoff, Watts. And Watts just rumbling, stumbling, picks up the first down inside the 10, down to about the 6 is where they're going to mark it. So 1st and goal from the 6 for Gladewater. And, boy, we got a good one here, Jeremy.
Yeah, we do. That was a 12-yard carry there for Watts.
Now, this is where they kind of fumbled, no pun intended, away
Twice.
last time.
They actually had 2 fumbles down in the red zone area. And so
they had the play at the end of the half where they kneeled it instead of spiked it. I mean, a lot of chances for Gladewater here.
Yeah, so in some ways, 3 turnover on downs in some form or fashion where they had a chance to potentially score.
It's going to be Watts again, straight up the middle, and he is swarmed immediately and stopped for – they're going to give him a loss back to the 7, I think.
Yeah, that was Vasquez and Sincere Cleaver, along with Drake Mills and just about everybody else on that interior defensive line there, along with the linebackers, and a great stop.
Cooper's back in now.
Yeah, so ball's on the 7, so loss of 1 there.
So 2nd and goal from the 7. Clock rolling here. We got just over 7 minutes to go, and a great one here on Thursday Night Football on NETSN. Straight up the middle, and there it is. It's Flanagan for the touchdown.
There goes
7-yard touchdown run for Mr. Flanagan. So we're an extra point away from this game being tied.
Yeah, and again, a great play. They did something similar to that last week. Flanagan had a late run like that last week, and so, just kind of a good change up there, right? You've been giving the ball to your deep back, hand it up to the up guy, and it's the backup up guy, so you're not expecting him to carry as much. And
he's a pretty nice backup to have.
Yeah, it's not too shabby when that's your backup fullback.
So Grafton Morgan on for the PAT. Little low snap.
Oh,
and
they
blocked the extra point. And they picked it up. Are they going to get it? I think we might have it.
Oh,
Oh, my goodness.
Floyd with the
is on the jet. Has just saved 2 points.
What a chase down by Aubrey Floyd.
Jesus.
Unbelievable. Oh, my goodness.
Did anyone get the speed on that run?
Man, that was Usain Bolt-ish. Holy
What
cow.
a hustle play.
Now, huge.
That could have went. I mean, it could have gone from a 3-point lead there with a field goal. Now it's just 1. What a play, man.
Yeah,
7:05 left here, Jeremy.
Brad, I'm not even sure. I don't even know how to say what just happened. That was incredible on the chase down.
7:05 left. West Rusk still on top, 15-14. We'll be right back here on NETSN.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
And we are back here on NETSN as we have Kay Mahoney's asking about injury. So we had Carson that was shaken up a little bit ago, but he came back in. So I don't think there was any other injuries with Gladewater.
Vasquez was sitting over the table earlier. I think he was just getting stretched out. There hasn't been anybody that's gone out that's not come back in.
So here we go. Gladewater is set to kick off. West Rusk is kind of up, and just in case there's a onside kick attempt. And it will not be. It'll be a deep kick, and it's going to go, fielded, and man. That's one of those in-betweens, though, Jeremy. That was fielded by number 12. That was Chris Sanchez. Now, you'd like to say, do you let it go out of bounds, but then it takes that golf roll where it stops on a dime, and then Gladewater gets it. So
that's a tough call. I think I'd maybe let him. He had plenty of room. Now, again, it's hard to know when you're running and looking over your shoulder, but he had enough time probably to let it bounce. Maybe he was close enough that he could probably see. But again, why take a chance? Probably, obviously the result is not what you want, but you have the ball, and again, you just got off a 90-yard drive, so why not try it again?
So St. Augustine answered, so that's now 27-15 over there in Carlisle. So a 12-point lead for the Indians in the third quarter. A little power outage delay, so they're a little bit behind us here. So here we go. West Rusk, Dotson back on offense with his team. He's got Williams. Williams with a haul up the middle. Williams, nice run for Williams up to the 21.
So 7 on the carry for him.
Yeah, he hit that hole hard, but really before he had anybody contact him, he was able to get that yardage.
And he's already got 20 carries on the night.
He's been the workhorse. You've had McCandless kind of, pop in there a little bit, but majority of it has been Williams. So second down and 4 officially on the field, it says. Williams bounces outside. Williams still turning his feet across the first down.
We got a late flag.
We got a little laundry. What are we going to see there late, Coach?
That's a good call. I'm going to go with, I think it might have been a face mask.
Face mask or a hole late? Well, we got the officials are talking about it. It's from, is it the umpire that actually?
Yeah.
A lot of times that's a hole.
It's true.
Oh, they're waving it off. Okay.
It just fell out of his pocket.
Oops, I didn't mean to throw that.
Yeah. So a good 5-yard run there for the first down.
So here we go. Clock rolling. We got 6:20 to go. 1st and 10 for West Rusk. Ball at the 25-yard line. Dotson is going to keep it himself right up the middle. Dotson with a nice little run on 1st and 10. Going to pick up about 3. You can pick up 3 yards a carry. You'll take that.
Yeah, 3-3-4, and you got a first down, right? Or 3-4-3. So, and you got a lead here. So you got 5:50 remaining. So you're going to try to take some clock, right? You're going to take the air out of the ball here. And if you're Gladewater, you got to pay attention to that, right? You need a big stop here on 2nd down, and
it's going to be a handoff. McCandless looking for a hole, makes a couple of cuts. And still, goodness.
That was a tough tackle there. Maddox Vasquez did a great job of holding him there. He actually had about 3 more yards and gave it up.
Yeah, that was a tough 2-yard run, Jeremy.
Yeah, it was. It was.
I mean,
And again, his first 3 jump cuts were great. That last one really got him in a bind there because he went backwards and then got grabbed. And a great job by Vasquez not letting go.
Looks like we have a timeout on the field. I didn't see who called it.
I'm going to go with, I believe it was Gladewater. I think West Rusk took one earlier in the half. And so
Okay.
I believe that was Gladewater. Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining.
I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in while we have a chance. Hey, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. Like this video for us. We want to get this to have the most likes of the night of all our broadcasts on NETSN. So give us a like there. And also hit that subscribe button so you know when we have games. We have 4 games on right now tonight, and we also have 5 more coming up tomorrow. And so you want to know when our games are going live. Make sure you have that. Also, there's an app. Go download it. It's got a lot of cool stuff on it. We'll talk about it here in a minute, but make sure you go get the app downloaded, then we can tell you what it does. So we got a 3rd down now and 5, a big one for West Rusk. They're trying to stay on offense. And he is, a jump pass. Oh, it was dangerous. Tried to get it to his tight end there, 27. That was, that's Rhett Jackson.
That was the best of a really bad play, right? Went through 2 guys' hands. And
that could have been really bad. It ended up okay.
Now, the downside is it stops the clock, right?
It does.
And so, like, maybe you run that one just in case. But, again, they tried to pass. There was nothing open, and then he scrambled left to where the pressure was and was able to just get one off in the direction of Rhett Jackson.
Yeah, so we got Cam Brown back to punt. He's had some great punts tonight. He needs this is a big one right here. Now, do you put somebody back if you're Gladewater? I think I put somebody return here. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they don't trust that they're actually going to punt. I don't know.
I mean, I think they're going to punt. Cam Brown. They're bringing everybody, and he's going to boom one, and it's going to be a great punt, and it's going to roll and trying to stop it at the 25-yard line, but a great punt by Brown there. And Gladewater will have 5:18, down 1.
And again,
2 timeouts.
Another 40-yard punt, right? That was about 40, I believe about 45 there on that one. So he's had multiple punts tonight. I think that's 3 over 40 yards and has really, again, flipped the field position.
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. I think a lot of this is you take for granted that punter position, especially at these lower levels. If you have somebody that can punt and place kick and those kind of things, they can win you and lose you games very, very fast.
And I think it goes all the way through the 6A level, right? I mean, there's been years that Tyler Legacy has not had a punter, and it forces your offense to change, right? You go for some things that you might not otherwise, and when you have a weapon like Cam Brown, you can trust.
It's hard to believe
it,
like with however many students you guys have, you can't find open trouts for a punter.
I know, but it happens sometimes, right? It's trying to convince a lot of times a soccer kid to take a chance and put a uniform on. And
here we go. It's going to be a pitch. And it is that Carson? No, that's Watts.
That's Watts.
And he doesn't go anywhere. He's going to be
Sincere Cleaver on that one.
Man, we've caught his name a lot tonight.
Yes.
Mr. Cleaver's been all over the place.
Sincere has been everywhere tonight for that defense. And, again, big stop by him. And he came all the way from the backside on that play because he's been playing left, kind of hybrid defensive end there. Kind of like you said earlier, that Micah Parsons role where it's a little bit linebacker, a little bit end.
And tonight he's been needed on that end.
Yes. And I think Vasquez on the other end has done a good job as well.
Here we go. Up the middle run, and it's that Watts again. He's going to get to the 29-yard line. So it's going to bring a 3rd down and 6 here. I mean, at this point, is this 4-down territory with only 4 minutes to go?
Yeah, I mean, I think you almost have to, right? With the way that West Rusk has been able to run the clock.
You've got 2 timeouts and the 2-minute stoppage.
That is true.
So that 2-minute stoppage could play into it, but I think it depends on what happens here.
Yeah.
I think if they don't go anywhere yardage-wise, they could. If they take a sack or a loss, then you might have to think about punting it. So we'll see. It's going to be handoff again. It's Watts again looking for a hole. He spins, and he's going to be just short. Let's see. They're going to be a yard short of the first, Jeremy.
Yeah, so that's a 5-yard carry there.
And you're trotting in Carson and Flanagan here. I wouldn't be surprised if Flanagan gets it because I don't know if you stop him for 1 yard.
I mean, and you're going to have to get some incredible penetration because if he gets that ball, even as well as their defensive line has done, 1 yard is not much for Big 28. So Achilles coming out here.
This is so important. Now, it's not the end of the game if they don't get this, but this would be
it makes the hill a lot harder to climb.
It is. Not as many room for mistakes. They don't get this one. So 4th and 1. He's going to hand it off to his tailback, Cooper, and I don't think he got it.
He lost a yard.
Wow, and turnover on downs, and Wes Rusk comes up with the biggest stop of tonight, Jeremy.
Yeah, and it looks like even a 2-yard loss on that one. So,
man, what a play.
And not only that, it looks like the running back is still down. Watts is coming up, or Flanagan's coming up a little bit limp.
Man, oh man. It just shows you that those defensive stops are just so important.
Yeah, and again, I think, you run a play and you try to do something, but I think if it's me, I'm going to hand that ball to my up back. You only need a yard. You go 7 yards deep. That's a long way to go. And man, the Raiders did a great job there defensively and got the big stop.
So we got 1st and 10 West Rusk. They've got the ball spotted at the 34-yard line. Still plenty of time. 3:06 to go. Handoff to Williams. He's going to bounce outside, but there is nowhere to go, and he is forced. Are they going to mark him out of bounds? I think they did. They forced him out of bounds, and that's what they did not want to see, Jeremy.
Yeah. So, he should have gone backwards there, right? He should have tried to go back to get his forward progress stop.
Yeah, just take the loss. It's going to be now 2nd down, and they're going to give him no gain, I think.
Yeah, so 2nd and 10, no yards on the carry. Again, that was his 22nd carry of the night.
I think your biggest mistake, though, is just going out of bounds.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to – I'd rather take a couple yards lost there and run the whole 40 seconds off.
Agreed.
So Gladewater does not have to take a timeout. They still have 2 left and the 2-minute stoppage. So this game is far from over. It's going to be handed off. This time it's McCandless. He's looking for he's patient, look through his hole, and he's on a nice run. They're going to give him a nice forward progress.
Coach is unhappy because they're not throwing a flag. They're dragging him backwards and throwing him on the ground. And so coach is wanting a call there.
Yeah, so I mean, they're getting 6 on that one, so it's going to be 3rd and 4. And the timeout is taken. So we'll take it with them. So 2:44 left here in the game. West Rusk up 1. They've got the ball. Can they hold on? Be right back here on NETSN.
Your vehicle is one of the biggest investments you'll make. And at Fairway Ford, we're committed to keeping you on the road. Our service technicians are experts in all aspects of every vehicle we put our customers in. And with our mobile service, you can stay safely where you are. Our team comes to you to fix whatever issue you're having. Learn more and book your next appointment at fairwayfordhenderson.net.
Back here on NETSN, Brett Sweeney, Jeremy Diamond with a great one here on Thursday Night Football on NETSN here. Game of the week.
I think we did pretty good picking a game of the week here in a 15.
Pretty good. It's going to be a keeper. Bounces outside. He's going to get the first down. More. Here he goes. He's knocked out of bounds, but a great run by the quarterback, Dodson. What a run.
I think the only thing that you'd look back at there is going,
maybe you should go down in bounds.
Yeah.
Well, that's another time. So Gladewater, they have 1 timeout and the 2-minute stoppage still, so it's not done yet. So I think 1 more first down would probably do it, Jeremy?
Yeah, I would agree. So 19-yard carry there for the quarterback.
Because if you had, if you'd have been down at the 2-minute stoppage if he goes down in bounds. Okay, so I think West Rusk got a timeout this time. And they did. So with 2:36 left, West Rusk takes a timeout. We'll take it with them. They lead by 1. Can they close it out? We'll find out here on NETSN.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
Down, I think you call it, right?
Now, here's the question. If you're West Rusk, if you get down to 4th down and you've got somebody that can kick, do you risk kicking a field goal?
Man, I don't know. After you blocked one on the other end, it might make you nervous about attempting
I know.
it, right? I mean,
you could end up with the return for the other way. I don't know.
Yeah, unless you got somebody as fast as Aubrey Floyd, I'm not sure I would try that one.
Oh, man. We're going to take a timeout with him. 2 minutes to go. We got a good one here. West Rusk trying to close it out here on NETSN.
The Friday night lights are shining, and we are teaching driving. CDL Training Academy is your resource to a better career. Come and get trained and get tested right here in Henderson, Texas. CDL Training Academy. Visit our Henderson, Texas office or online at cdllearn.com.
And we are back here on NETSN. 2 minutes to go, Jeremy. 2 minutes, and what a battle it's been tonight.
A 1-point game. I think we picked a fantastic game for Game of the Week. And, again, we want to thank our sponsor, Azalea Orthopedics, for allowing us to broadcast this game.
Hand off. Bounce outside. It's Williams, and he is coming, and we do a flag late.
Yeah.
So is it going to be a hold?
It looks like holding on the offense. I believe it was on the outside there, the lineman.
Do you decline this, though, and take the play there? Because they didn't get very many yards. I think I decline it and make them – it stops the clock, and it's 3rd down, right?
That's right.
Gladewater still has their timeout, so now you would – oh, they're taking it? I don't know that I do that. I think I decline it there, Jeremy.
Yeah, I'm declining that one. Now, I know, you think to yourself, they got to get 10 more yards. We don't want them to be that close to the end zone, but, man, I think you have to.
It's an extra snap. That's 40 more seconds.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see how this works out. So Dotson in the gun with Williams to his right. And Williams is going to get the handoff, and he is going to be stopped at the 21-yard line. So now you probably take your timeout if you're Gladewater. And they do with 1:46 to go. So we've got a 3rd down and what's that?
16?
16? So we'll see what they come up with. We're going to come back for this one. We've got a good finish. Don't go anywhere. Stay here on NETSN.
Brook Hill is more than a school.
I am more than a teacher.
We're more than a classroom.
This is more than a performance.
That is more than a scoreboard.
At Brook Hill, you are more than a student. Brook Hill provides a Christ-centered education that more than prepares students for college. It prepares them for life. Brook Hill is a place to grow, a place to belong, a place to thrive. Are you ready for more?
And we are back on NETSN as Gladewater still has a player down at around the 23-yard line. We'll see who it is. Is that number 10, I believe? Mason Boudreaux.
And he's been one of their standout linebackers tonight. And
so they're going to have this play without him.
think he got collected in some of the scrum there on that run and came out the worse for the wear, and so hopefully they can get him off the field and hopefully get him right.
So 3rd down and 16. You don't want an incomplete pass if you're West Rusk. That'd be the worst, or go out of bounds. This play needs to end inside the field if you're them.
Are they going to throw another jump ball here to Cam Brown and see if we can get the Cam Brown Aubrey Floyd three-peat here and see who can win that one maybe?
We'll see. They risk throwing it. And they're going to run it up the middle with Dotson, and Dotson's just going to dive down at the 20. Okay, so now here's where the not having the play clock comes into play, Jeremy.
Right, because you got to time that. You got to have somebody watching and wave it on.
And it looked like the play ended around 142. So that would put us down at around the 102 range, and I would imagine that they're going to
I'd take a timeout about 105 just in case,
now,
right?
Now they have – the scoreboard has no timeouts for either team. So I don't know.
So was it the injury maybe that causes it? I'm not sure. I thought each team had at least one, but they've got them both at 0.
They have them both at 0 on the board, so we'll see what this does. Now they're going to take a penalty and just go down to – no, they have a timeout, so they must have one. So West Rusk does have a timeout, so we will take it with them. So we've got a 4th down and 16, 101 to go, Jeremy, and we'll see what they do when we come back here on NETSN.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
All right, we are back here on NETSN. Brett Sweeney and Jeremy Diamond, and with a thrilling game here on NETSN. 104 to go. West Rusk is lining up. They're going to go for it. Dotson in the gun. We'll see where they go. He's going to throw it up. It's Cam Brown in the end zone, and incomplete. So we've got 58.6 to go. Gladewater is now in possession of the ball with that time, Jeremy. We're about to find out what kind of passing game they got here.
That was Destin Sheridan there on the breakup. He did catch the ball, but unfortunately landed out of bounds. But it doesn't matter.
Actually, it was probably better.
Yeah, because they get the ball at the 21 instead of the 20.
Extra yard. So, man.
You never know what that 1 yard's going to do. You know, somebody might be saying it's just 1 yard, guys. But again,
here's where those plays are important. They had a couple of times they could have stopped or kept the clock rolling going at inbounds plays instead of they went out of bounds a couple of times. And now that 58 seconds, is it going to come back to haunt them? We're about to find out.
Yeah, so this will be interesting because this is really going to force Gladewater out of their comfort zone, right? You're going to have to go trips here and put the ball in the air a little bit.
So Hess has got, oh my goodness, he threw it sideways.
That's not anywhere near the line of scrimmage.
That's got to be grounding.
And there's no one over there.
Is that going to be
the flag is on the ground. I believe that's going to be intentional grounding. It's going to be a spot foul and loss of down.
Will the clock roll 10 seconds as well? Will they run off?
I can't remember.
Because you just killed the clock too.
Right. Yeah, I imagine it'll be. So that ball is going to go to the 10-yard line.
That was like a straight sideways, Jeremy.
Yeah, that's an 11-yard penalty there. That hurts big time. That, again, now you got to go 90 yards.
They didn't wind the clock, though. They still have 53.6 to go here, but a long way to go. They're going to need something. I mean, Floyd, we saw how fast he is.
I think he's going to call for the 10-second runoff.
Is he? We're about to find out if the clock changes on the screen, and we'll know they've.
Yep, there it goes to 43. So 10-second runoff, which hurts even worse than the grounding does, really.
But we saw how fast Floyd can get from end to end. So if they can get the ball in his hands.
Yeah, man, if you can get him behind somebody. Oh, no.
Oh, and
was that picked?
I think it hit the ground.
It hit the ground. He tried to sell it.
Yeah.
Gunner tried to sell it.
Umpire said, no, son, it hit the ground.
I saw that thing bounce.
So we got now 3rd and 21.
You know, you got to try to sell it if you didn't catch it.
I'm not sure where the quarterback was going with the ball. I don't know where that was.
His slot wasn't open. He overthrew the tight end there. I think that was supposed to go to maybe Morgan, but I think he overthrew him by about 10 yards.
And Tavo Lemus, if you need to get your CDL Training Academy in Henderson's where to go.
That's right. You can go back and watch this video again to get the QR code if you want to go there to their website, or you can go to our website, netsn.live, and go click on sponsors. And from there, you can click the link, and it'll take you directly to their website.
And let them know that you saw our ad on NETSN. We sent you that way.
Yeah, because, again, these businesses are sponsoring time to help get their business across and help showcase these athletes.
Yes. Looks right. He's going to go short to a short receiver, and it's a
big shot.
Was that? Oh, I thought it might have been a late hit there.
That was Judd Dotson on the big hit. It might have been.
But out of bounds. That was 0 on the catch for Gladewater. Kason Harris.
So that was
4th and 8. Okay. So it's manageable now, though.
Yeah.
So they can get the first down, they can stop the clock and continue to go here. But first things first, you've got to have some routes that go past the sticks. So here we go. Hess bounce back to pass. Steps up in the pocket, throwing right over the head of Floyd, and incomplete. And that's going to do it. As West Rusk will take a few knees, and Jeremy, the West Rusk Raiders with a huge statement win here on the road in Gladewater tonight.
Yeah.
Man, oh man.
And I think we might need to go back and look at those keys.
Yeah.
As we wrap up the game tonight,
we'll check those. Yeah, I think we definitely need to check those once we get done here.
I might have got lucky and got a couple right again. So.
You might know a few things sometimes, Jeremy.
Well, even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while, as they say. So. Looks like we're going to get the victory formation here with McCaslin deep just in case. I always think it's weird when they do the shotgun victory formation, but here we have it. And that's going to do it. Man,
wow,
what a big win
for
the West Rusk Raiders.
Oh, I think that's Derek. He said that screwing up my picks. Yeah, I think
you might not be the only one.
Yeah,
there's a few of us up in this area that might have been the same. Man, what a game. Man, what a finish.
What a win for West Rusk, man. Just an on-the-road win for them, for their program, Coach Mata. And then we'll see both these teams a little more this season, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and I think if you're Gladewater, right, you're going to rue those turnovers, right? That play right before the half where you accidentally took a knee instead of a spike. The 2 fumbles in the red zone, right? Those couple of things I think is going to be things that you look back on this game and say, guys, we gave this one away. As much as we lost this one, right, we hurt ourselves.
Man, just an incredible game tonight. All right, so you want to go look back and see how you did, Jeremy?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to see if maybe I hit a few. I know I hit one.
Okay. All right, well, let's take a look here. Bring up the keys for the game here. You said West Rusk. You said 3-men front must clog running lanes. I think that was a good one.
And I think they did that overall up the inside. Again, the runs that Gladewater had were the outside, so they did a good job there.
Scored 30 points.
Right,
well,
I missed that one.
You didn't need that because we had a slugfest on defense tonight.
That's right.
But the turnover battle,
again,
check.
+2, so I got 2 out of 3. I'll take it.
For Gladewater, win on special teams. I don't think that was kind of a toss-up.
Yeah, I think the punting of Cam Brown was huge, right? And then they did pass a few times, right? They got again, I think if I'm Gladewater, like, this isn't a big loss. Not that losses are losses, but I mean, this isn't something where, you just totally got manhandled, right? There's a few mistakes here that you get back. I think if you take 3 plays back in this game, if you're Gladewater, you look back and go, we give those 3 turnovers back and this game's different,
Yeah, but, man, what a contest. This is just a one, and we'll have 5 more games on the network tomorrow night, and so I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. Jeremy, any final thoughts? You got some stats for us, I think, over there here in a minute. We'll get some stats for you. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back with some stats. Jeremy's tallying those up. We'll be right back for those on NETSN.
The Friday night lights are shining and we are teaching driving. CDL Training Academy is your resource to a better career. Come and get trained and get tested right here in Henderson, Texas. CDL Training Academy. Visit our Henderson, Texas office or online at cdllearn.com.
All right, we are back on NETSN as Jeremy is getting the stats lined up. And, man, Archie Manning. He's on the chat? Archie Manning? Oh, okay.
Wow.
How about them Raiders? I mean, a big win for West Rusk on the road, I will agree. And he's thanking us for Mr. Tavu Lemus is saying thank you, gentlemen. And thank you, I guess, for the CDL Training Academy referral. Hopefully they'll get you set up with that CDL. Jeremy, as you add up those stats here, what's sticking out to you as you add those up?
Well, I think, the big thing was, we looked at it at halftime. West Rusk only had 30 yards of offense. And then in the second half, Judd Dotson alone had 81 yards passing. Had a big touchdown pass in that second half. And then rushing, you had 3 guys really carry the ball. You had, Dalen had about 61 yards. McCandless had 38, and then Dodson helping his own cause with 29. And so, really for them, I think and then Cam Brown had 79 yards receiving along with a touchdown.
That touchdown catch he had was incredible too. Yeah. And then for Gladewater, I mean, they struggled. They had a couple of spots where they had yardage. They just couldn't finish it with those turnover on downs. They got inside the enemy territory and just couldn't finish off drives.
Yeah, and again, I think Watts is going to be close. I didn't get it all tallied up, but he's going to be over 100 yards rushing. So again, I think you had a lot of positives to take out of it, right? You had more passing yards than you had last week. Your rushing, your yardage was there. You just didn't get the finish, right? And so I think that's the thing that you go back to is, we had more yards overall. We had the stats, but the one stat that matters most is the score, and we lost that one by 1.
Yeah, I think both teams, if you're West Rusk, this is a great momentum builder for their season. If it's Gladewater, maybe it's one of those it's a learning point for Coach Lewis. He's like, hey guys, we might be getting better, but we still got a lot to work on before districts here, and kind of opens their eyes like, hey, we just can't show up and win every week. We got to protect the ball. We've got to do the things that we know we can do well. And I thought tonight, I agree. I think them opening up the passing game and they showed that they can do that a little bit is going to free up their run game as they move forward, because they didn't have to show much in that first game we saw them play against New Diana. They were just pounding the rock and pounding the rock and pounding the rock, and that was pretty much able to take care of that game. But West Rusk clogged the middle, and they were able to kind of keep Gladewater from doing what they really wanted to do.
Yeah, and again, so final stats for Gladewater again. You had Achilles Hess he went 5 for 7. He had 52 yards passing, 1 touchdown, did have the 2 fumbles. And then rushing wise, you had Cooper with just 25. Watts had 147. Flanagan 20. You had Hess with 97. And then you had Morgan with 3. And then now I'm going blank. I knew I was going to do that as soon as I started to say it. Our guy Aubrey Floyd with 5. And then as far as receiving yards, Floyd had 31. Morgan had 13. And then the big man, the D lineman, had 6 in the 2-point conversion, so the TD and the 2-point. And so, again, penalties were big. In the second half, Gladewater had 46 yards in penalties. To 23 for West Rusk. And so I think those things were really the big difference was the turnovers and the penalties in the second half.
All right, so NETSN player of the game. I think I know who I'm voting for.
All right, let's hear it. I want you to go first.
I'm going to go with Cam Ward for a couple of reasons.
Cam Brown. Okay.
Cam Brown, excuse me.
You went with the Titans quarterback.
I did. Cam Brown, and here's my one reason. The catch was amazing here on this end. But his special teams, the punting, was so key that he was able to flip the field a few times when Rusk was struggling moving the football. They kept Gladewater out of their own end, something that New Diana didn't do last week. They gave Gladewater short fields. They were able to reverse the field and put Gladewater where they did have to drive the ball down, and eventually they turned it over a few times. And so I think that was, to me,
I agree.
Along with that incredible touchdown catch that we saw, just the fact that he is that kind of player that he can go punt the football to and do a good job as he did tonight. I mean,
And I think, you have the guy, you have McCandless, who's kind of their Swiss Army knife, and maybe Cam gets overlooked a little bit. But like we said, he had 3 punts over 45 yards. He's got the big touchdown catch. I mean, he was a difference. And the other thing was the defense keyed on him, right? You watched, they had a safety roll over the top of him almost every time. And so it takes the defender away and allows other guys some space. And so, again, he's a threat, and they knew it coming in. And so just a great game and a great finish, and 2 great teams that we expect to see going a long way in the future.
Well, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to tonight's broadcast. And a shout out to our man Richard Diamond that worked the camera all night to provide the video that you saw this evening. But for Jeremy Diamond, I'm Brett Swinney, signing off for the evening. Final here in Gladewater. West Rusk on the road gets the win 15-14. Thanks for watching. Good night, and we'll see you tomorrow night here on NETSN.
Williams fights through the yards, breaks some tackles. Williams still on his feet. Williams breaks another tackle. Here he goes. He's got some blockers. Sam Williams, he ain't going to catch him. Touchdown, God. 59-yard touchdown run on 3rd and 2 for Sam Williams.
Yeah, whoa. They get set early, very quickly here. Play clock down to 3. Dixon gets it off, low snap. Pickram up the middle, and there he goes. Pickram into the secondary. Pickram is going to go. He is gone. Touchdown. Macho steps up in the pocket, and he gets away from one tackler, avoids another tackler, tries to run. He's still on his feet. Camacho's still on his feet. He's still running. Camacho, goodness gracious, he's still going. Camacho, is he going to score? Wow. Touchdown. Quick pass. Bork adjusts and intercepted, and he caught it.
He's coming back. He's coming back.
He's going all the way.
Oh, my God. No,
it's Taylor.
Just let him go. Just let him go.
And a pick 6.
Kind of stalled him out here. Brisbane got Stewart with a little.
Oh, he ran over the defender. The helmet coming off. Holy man.
Quarterback Smith. And Smith's in the gun. He's going to go back to pass. Goes out to his left. He's got a man open. It's Bork again. Caught. Bork breaks some tackle. Oh my gosh. He's still on his feet. He's inside the 10. Touchdown, Arp. What? Here we go. 1st and 10. They're going to throw it outside. They're going to double pass here. Going deep. That's Man Scott. What a catch by Man Scott. It's a one-handed grab. He's going to go almost all the way. Just tackled at the 1. Highlight reel right there for Man Scott. Oh, my goodness, Jason.
I don't think you'll see anything like that.
Woo.
That's not an East Texas highlight reel. That's Sports Center right there.
Man, oh, man. What a catch.